Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Saturday Night Sarthia. We are here to do our epilogue of the conclusion of our campaign. If you missed it, last week was our kind of finale where we our brave heroes finally saved the world and locked away all magic in the universe. So there's that. But what we want to do today, or what we're here today to do, is to kind of talk about the characters, wrap everything up. I've got some stuff we're going to go through as far as like where everybody went afterwards, how everyone responded to the events of the last session. So if you missed the last game, you probably want to go watch that first. Or if you haven't watched any of it, go watch all that first. But we're doing this as kind of a filler, a placeholder, while we're getting ready for our next campaign, which is going to start next week. So we're going to be doing that first. Should be doing that until about 4:00. Then we're going to have someone new come in, Jake, who's going to be playing with us for our next campaign. And we're going to have a fun little fight kind of encounter thing that's sort of separate from the campaign. So anyway, we'll get to that. Announcements for things that are coming up. We have tomorrow our second session of the Pursuit of the Black Kestrel, which is the Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign that I am running. Alex Berry and Savannah are in it, as well as LB, who's on Slang 101, and RJ, who's come over from their own channel to join us for this wonderful game. So come check that out. We will be starting around 7:00 tomorrow. So come join. I think we have potentially a Tidefall this Wednesday, barring any unforeseen schedule changes. So come join us for that Wednesday at 8. We will then have I don't think we have anything else this week though, do we? No. So maybe some streaming, other stuff. Just check out our Twitter, join our Discord for all of our updates if anything else is going to be going on. And then we'll be back for this next Saturday to kick off Saturday night's Thunderball, which if we have some time at the end of the session, we'll talk a little bit about and give you a little bit of a sneak preview for. But for now, let's go ahead and I was going to say let's go ahead and jump right in or play the game or something. But it's not really what we're doing. So let's wrap things up. I'm going to change our music here, something a little more chill. I like this one. So last time on Saturday night's Sarthia, the four heroes, the Hope of Vagrants, conquered the Arbiter and the Void, defending the land of Ishvornid, your home, and the world itself from annihilation on a cosmic scale. You, through a harrowing fight, luckily everyone lived at the end. Maybe not in between, but at the end, everyone was still alive. And made the decision. A decision that was left only to the four of you. Whether or not to lock away, seal away magic from Sarthia, essentially eliminating all spellcasters, divine and arcane magics. But protecting Sarthia from a calamity of this scale from ever occurring again. You decide to take this option rather than kind of kicking the can down the road for another millennia or two. And with that, this being who you had known so briefly as Light left, taking the Arbiter with them, passing back through the breach that the void had created to whatever quasi-plane, quasi-dimension had been imprisoned in for so long, and shut the door behind them. And the four of you returned back to your guild hall to help recover, explain as little as you want to what was going on, and pick up the pieces. So, where we're going to pick up today, I'm going to go to each one of you. We're going to talk about what you did in the weeks, months, years, as far as you want to go following this, and where you see their life going after this point, as general or as specific as you want to be. And we are going to start first with Jules. Jules, after however long you stay in Quildon, helping with the recovery and the panic and the sort of reconciliation of this town and its loss of magic, you throw your belongings over your shoulder and strike out on your own back to your hometown, far in the mountains to the north. But you aren't alone on this journey. Your estranged, up until this point, father, Mizar, comes with you. And the two of you head deep into the mountains, following the relatively dangerous paths that lead up that way, as little traveled as they are. And as the summer has dwindled onward and it has sort of given way into a darkening fall once again, you arrive in your at your home. You see the rusty cog perched at the edge of the mountaintops, at the edge of the city, nestled up against the monastery that it is sort of grown out of. And you see Vicrus intact, the people carrying on their lives the best they can, seemingly undaunted by the recent changes. And you walk through the streets, many people recognizing you, shouting your name and coming up to greet you and asking you how you're doing, and you, as polite as you want to be, push your way through, eventually arriving to the doors of the rusty cog. You feel that warmth emanating through the wooden exterior, and you push inside. And there you see a few patrons milling about, a fire roaring against the far wall, and behind the counter, cleaning off a few dirty glasses, you see your mother, who looks up and, without missing a beat, smiles as she sees you and calls out your name. And then her face turns as she sees another figure darkening the doorway. And your father, Mizar, walks in. And she had been coming around the counter, throwing her apron over the side, and kind of stops, her gait slowing as she approaches, and she looks back at you and she smiles. And I think she comes in and gives you a hug. And she says, "I'm so glad you're okay, Jules. You're all right, aren't you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Good. One moment. And
I
she
duck.
turns,
Behind something.
steps up to your father, who head is like bowed low and is like staring at his boots. And her arm goes back, and you're expecting her to just wail on him, but she doesn't. Instead, she sort of lightly taps the sort of, I think he's wearing like a chest plate. Still has his armor on. Taps the center of it with her knuckles, kind of a half-hearted punch, and she says, "You bastard." And I think she gives him a hug too. So, Jules, I don't really have much else to the scene other than that. Where do you see yourself going from this point? You said you wanted to go back home. What do you see Jules doing for the future?
Well, I think she tries as hard as possible and probably futilely to go back to her old life before she started adventuring, which the whole saving her town from an avalanche and now being called the Ice Walker thing doesn't really seem so bad to her. So I think she's probably much nicer about that sort of reputation that she's built up now. If people bring it up, I think she's sort of much more lighthearted about the whole thing. But I think she tries as hard as she can to just have everything go back to normal, probably unsuccessfully. She goes back to the brewery, and I think she probably tends bar a lot more than she used to, because I think she did that sometimes, but mostly probably hid in the back and did other things. But I think she now sort of spends more time with the people that she left behind. And also she spends however long it takes and gets whoever she can to help her to expand out the temple that the Rusty Cog is attached to, and tries to, I think, set up whatever it would be in this kind of setting, but some sort of place where people can go for medical treatment when they get sick or if they get injured, things like that, because she is like expertly trained in medicine. She's basically a doctor. But,
I mean, that is true.
It is, yeah. Like a +11 to medicine or something.
Now that you don't have magic, yeah.
Skill, yeah. So I think she spends a lot of time either expanding the temple out, like building onto it, or converting part of it into some sort of like infirmary or something like that, where people can go to get treatment from her, mostly. And then barring anything that sort of warrants her leaving, I think for the most part she stays home. And eventually I think probably starts training other people who maybe show a knack for it, some younger people sort of in the town, basic like medical techniques and stuff like that, so it's not just her all the time.
Yeah. Do you think you ever go back to Quildun and visit like the guild or anything again, or do you totally leave the guild?
No, I think it's not that far.
No, it's maybe like a week or two.
Yeah, I think I don't think she like never leaves her hometown ever again. No, I think she goes out and comes back and still visits and participates, and also I guess lets everybody who is there, including the gods, I don't know what they're doing, but including sort of anybody who's left, that if they can't find a like a place to really stay in Quildun, that they could come back with her, and have a place in Vicrys. But yeah, no, she goes back. I don't know that she ever really goes out adventuring. The only thing that I think could probably make Jules go adventuring again is if one of her party needed something or needed her help to like go somewhere. She would do that in a heartbeat. If they're
not looking to save the world again.
No, but if they rang and were like, "Hey, my dog is missing. I really need you to come help me find it," or so, I don't know, or something. You know, she would help them probably at the drop of a hat. But I think other than that, she stays home.
Okay. So Jules' intent to live out a much quieter life in the mountains of northern Ishvorden in her small, sleepy village.
Becomes a healer.
Becomes a healer. Let's do... So if you have any... actually, let me do this. I have epilogue stuff for a lot of other characters, too. I'm going to sprinkle it in, I think, a little bit when it makes sense. Your father, Mazar, spends some time back in Vicrys, and I think he and your mother get on better terms. They don't like rekindle a past romance or anything like that, but I think they reconnect in that way as your parents, wanting to make up for some lost time, especially your father. But I think he returns over the years, and he comes back for like a month or so throughout the years, but most of the time he does return to his charge, to the Moon Citadel. One thing he does do, and I'll go ahead and bring this up now, is before all of that happens, he does ask for Dragon Maru back. And he would explain to Chad that he needs it for his charge to enter and leave the Moon Citadel at will. Mm-hmm. Without it, he would be unable to return. And though he had cast it away at one point, resigning himself to abandon any further connection with the outside world, knowing that he has a daughter out there and he wants to spend time with her, would ask for it back.
Yeah, Chad would give it back. I think he immediately goes and tries to get another great axe, and it doesn't feel the same. So he goes back to the way of the great sword, which is how he started.
Yeah. You can keep it on your sheet, by the way. I'm not taking it away for the last fight or anything. But just as like an epilogue thing, I think he would ask for it to be returned to him. But he returns to the Moon Citadel, and spends most of his time there. And I think he would tell you, Jules, that most of what he's doing, he's changed his mindset, seeing the way things are now, and actually goes north to Ugrelect and recruits some of the giant clans folk there, and creates essentially refounds the guard of the Moon Citadel, looking for others to help, knowing that he may not always be around, that he is old and he is has a long years ahead of him, but he does not believe that he will always be there to defend it, and having somebody else there would perhaps keep this world safer. I think the next person I want to go to is going to be Chad. Chad, you right now, as we pick up, are still in Quildun. The city is bustling. This is a few months after the attack. things have largely returned to a sense of normalcy. The Arcanus Imperium has abandoned their watch in the city as the portal is no longer there. And there's no longer any fear of that breach reopening. But you have your attentions turned to a large group of recruits to the Hope of Vagrants. A number of 15 young to middle-aged hopefuls that hope to give their services to join the Hope of Vagrants and to help keep Ishvornen safe and keep the local towns folk safe. And you see, I think Dirk is currently walking you through the grounds and walking you like through the recruits as they are standing there and not like a military attention, but they are holding themselves, presenting themselves, and going over their sort of qualifications. Dirk has become captain of the Quildon Guard, and he is sort of a jointly assisting in this recruitment, also looking for people that maybe if you're not looking to recruit them, to help with the help enlist in the Guard as well, knowing that the Veil Guard always needs capable individuals. But you pause as you're going over the recruits because you see something you didn't expect. You see a young man with blonde hair that's long and pulled back in a ponytail. He is carrying a simple wooden shield and has a short sword at his belt. And he has a fairly stern expression of a little more militaristic than the others, and holds himself with a certain amount of precision and competence that some of the other recruits are probably lacking. And you realize that you recognize him. You remember a young man in the back of a wagon with a sack pulled over his head that had been kidnapped by a group of bandits after his family had been killed. You see Luke, who you haven't seen since Glassnock. Now a little bit older, a little bit taller, and seeming a little bit different than he was before. And I think he, as you go to make eye contact or kind of pass him, he looks at you and then recognizes you and gives a smile and a nod and says, Lord Chad, correct?
It's just Chad, but yes.
I don't know if you recognize me. We met back at my with the bandits in Glassnock. I'd like to join if you'd have me.
Well, I certainly hope you'll live up to the standards, son. Obviously, I can't let you in with just a free pass, but I hope you've taken your experience to heart and have directed that into your training efforts, because you, more than probably most of the others here, kind of raising the voice a bit, just know just how bad the bandits around here can be and why it is so important that we take up arms and show them why they can't prey on innocent people.
He sort of straightens up and he says, I do, sir. I know. And I want to do everything I can to keep this country safe.
Good lad.
So Chad, you when you sent me your message, you said that you see, or yourself, you see Chad training the recruits of the guild and founding some sort of or kind of dedicating the Hope of Vagrants to protecting the roadways and trying to kind of expand outwards and keep all of Ishvornen safe, especially the local countrysides and the townsfolk. So, including that and more than that, what else do you see Chad getting into?
Yeah, I mean, the motivation for Chad on that point is he had, 6 months or however long with the teleportation circle, and he could just pop back and forth across the country to visit, his dad, his mom, but now they're weeks or months away by foot, and, Chad can take care of himself, but if they came to visit, it's not necessarily, the roads aren't always safe, so Chad, certainly has a group within the Hope of Vagrants, maybe not the whole guild, but petitions the various council lords to help with this initiative to establish essentially a highway patrol and people who are dedicated to making sure the main roads are safe for anyone who wishes to travel. And Chad himself will go out on missions going back and forth, from Glambala all the way over to Syria, staying there for a period or two to visit family, make sure his younger siblings are growing up. And I think Chad might also, still kind of a Hope of Vagrants initiative, but sets up almost like a fighting school on the foundation of there's no more magic around, and people who were relying on that, they need to learn how to fight. And so Chad sets up a way to be like, I was fighting without magic long before this. Let me show you how it's done.
Perfect. And I think that ends up being so appropriate, and we didn't plan this out, people, but the Hope of Vagrants being a group that protects vagrants, people traveling from place to place without a home, don't have the luxury of traveling with guards. It ends up being perfect, and I think I don't think anyone would disagree with that initiative being as important as it is. And I think many of the other council lords offer aid to Quildun and to your guild to kind of expand. And I think over time, maybe a year, 2 years, I think the Hope of Vagrants is able to establish other smaller outposts between and within other cities to kind of help with that effort. The one other question I had, so you do see, does Chad go home to visit his father? And you mentioned going to visit like your mother and your little sister. I'm assuming you also go visit your brother and your father at some point.
Yep.
The one thing that I think, the only thing that happens with it, because I think mostly your family, things stay about the same. Your dad maintains his position as steward of Glanbala and raises your son to be or your brother, sorry, to be the best lordling that he can be. And I hadn't thought too much about how his story turns out, but I imagine that he probably dreams and fantasizes about growing up in his older brother's footsteps, and trains heavily with the sword. I think your father, Lord Musseldorf, does extend an offer to your mother, her husband, and their family, to, considering that travel between the holds is more dangerous now without the magical protections, and I think he does extend an offer to have them relocate to Glanbala, providing them a home and a shop to work out of. And I think they do that. I mean, mostly for the connection that Chad has kind of fostered between kind of reuniting your shattered or fractured family. But I think they do move to Glanbala and live out their life there. As I said, Dirk becomes captain of the Quildun Guard. Luke joins the Hope of Vagrants. I think you find him to be a promising recruit. I can't think of anyone. Azon and stays with the guild I think he travels quite a bit and will disappear for months at a time, but does come back fairly frequently. Matthias, I don't think stays for very long once everyone leaves. I think he, with a smile and a goodbye, probably before everyone else goes, kind of seeing that everyone is about to go, I think he does give his goodbyes. And he leaves each of you with a parting gift, a single tarot card from his collection, and he says, I really had a lot of fun hanging out with all of you for, despite being kidnapped by the Beholder for those weeks. That was less fun, but it was a lot of fun, and I hope I could help.
You were a great help. It was good to have met you.
And I'm glad none of you died.
I did for a little bit. Just
For
a
a
little
little.
death.
But I'll be back. I'm sure we'll see each other around.
This place is always open to you.
Well, bye. And he just walks away. I think let's go ahead and do Finn's. So Finn, you here's where I want to pick up with Finn's story. Finn, you are currently walking down a dark corridor in an abandoned castle, a familiar castle, the Moon Citadel. And ahead of you, Mizar sort of guides you down a set of stairs underneath the dais, and he turns back towards you and says, I don't know if this will be exactly what you need, but I'm sure it'll be safe enough. Well, come on, I'll show you what you need to get in here. And he shows you the locking mechanism and leads you down to the vault, which he has sort of repaired the door on, and shows you the method of unlocking that, and into this massive treasure room where you see all of these objects kind of lining around. He says, so, you think this is going to work?
Safest place I know. Now nobody can teleport in here.
True. Well, you're free to come and go. I'll be ready or waiting at the edge of the castle to let you in at the end of every month. So if you're not there, I'll assume you don't have anything. And if you are, then you can hide it away.
Okay.
So Finn, you had the idea that Finn probably wasn't going to stay with the guild for very much longer, and instead goes back to his life as a con man. But this time for a different purpose, to seek out dangerous magical items that have fallen into the wrong hands or held by the wrong people, and stashing them away at the Moon Citadel. Do you want to talk about that, or Finn's motivations there, or what else Finn gets into?
We kind of screwed up the world. And the short amount of time he spent with the rest of you three do-gooders kind of made him a better person. But he would randomly, every so often, he would send to Chad's father's place, the guild hall, and Jules's mother's place. You just randomly receive a fork or a new wanted poster, just to show he's still alive. No, just a fork or a wanted poster.
So just wandering the countryside between the major holds and the cities and trying to. Do you leave the country at any? I mean, I assume if your broader idea is to gather as much of these dangerous magical items as you can, that you'd probably leave at some point. Do you see that happening?
Yeah, because the heat would probably.
Oh no. Do this, Morgan.
Oh no.
I need to wait for the heat to die down because stealing magical items is going to be a big.
Yeah.
Of course, if I come across like another hat of disguise, I'll be keeping that one on me to help me stay disguised.
Yeah. Savannah, do we need to go on?
Do you want to
to our
break
break for a
quickly so
second?
we can get her back?
Okay.
Be right back, everyone!
BRB. And we're back. Thanks for hanging out with us. A little bit of technical difficulties, but we got Morgan back, so we're good to keep going. Finn, so going Robin Hooding, going around stealing magical items from the rich, stashing them away in your secret giant castle. Do you see Finn doing anything else, or settle down at any
Trying
point,
not to
or
get arrested.
just trying not to get arrested? That sounds fair.
Well,
That sounds
also
fair to me.
slightly seeing how high of a bounty can I get? Like,
Before they just start sending the army after you. If it's
yeah.
like
Next
Grand
second,
Theft
the
Auto,
highway patrol's like, "Hey, I'm like, Chad, how's it going?"
Just going
If
for
it's
that
like-
achievement in Skyrim with max bounty and all the holds.
in all the holes, yeah. Eventually they just start shooting on sight.
I'll see if Azon can try and keep word out. I'll probably stop in back to the guild to see if there's been any rumors about magical items.
Yeah. I think part of the reason I think Azon would be disappearing for the months at a time, my thought process was that is he probably gets into hijinks with Finn.
Me and my buddy.
Probably helps, because if you ever need somebody, because you've got some, you're pretty good at some roguish stuff. He's pretty good at some roguish stuff too, so it could help you with some heist.
And he has a hat of disguise so he can look different each time while I'm stuck looking amazing.
Yeah. So I think the two of you definitely can get into some shenanigans. Perfect. I don't know if was there anything else you wanted to talk about for Finn?
No, I just wanted to steal shit
Perfect.
and not be part of a guild again, because that makes a lot of work. I would visit that town where I first met the guild, see if that lady's cooked any more cookies for me.
Yeah.
Gotta try and get my cookies. Like, let's see if I can still use this reputation.
I think they still like you there. Plus, as far as they know, you're still a member of the Hope of Vagrants, so you can
A founding
drop that
member.
line. The founding member. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Well, last but certainly not least, Hilda. Hilda, there were a couple things you wanted to do, but this is the scene that I want to start with. Is you travel west, following a lot of the same kind of pathways and roadways through the forests and across the countryside that you did arriving in Quildun for the first time. I think, because I don't have a better way to fit this in, I think at some point you do pass the Black Perch, the hold of the Umberhawks, that you had dealt with somebody years ago or months ago, and you do find Krog still calling it his home. You see definite evidence, whether you stop it or not. You do see evidence of a hill giant having made this, and I think actually above the front gate, I think it's just been carved into the stone, in it's very poorly written giant, and it just says Krog's house.
I love it so much.
So you do find him there, but I think you travel back to the tower, the Arcanus Imperium, their tower here in Ishvornen. And as you enter into this complex, this once bustling, vibrant center of magical learning and study here in the frozen north, you find it a little more melancholy than you initially remember. There aren't as many students around, hardly any to speak of. Most of the people you see working and moving around, carrying tomes and ledgers and things of that nature, are the faculty and the staff. And there's just sort of this kind of weight to the air of frustration. one of the faculty, I think, sees you and approaches and says, Hilda, is that you?
Hello there. It's been so long.
Where have you been?
Oh, just out and about in the field. Was doing sort of research and experiments, but seeing how things are now.
Yeah. I'm assuming you have figured out, or I don't think many of us will be here much longer. You're free to stay as long as you need to. I'm sure. I don't think anybody's in your old room.
I didn't realize this place would be so depressing. But I mean, I guess it makes sense if the reason people are here for is no longer exists.
Yes. There are some that are holding out hope, thinking this might be a solvable problem. They're heading south. There's a summit that is going to be occurring between the most members of the Imperium in the south. So I'm not planning on going, but there are a few others that are, and if you're interested, I'm sure there's room on the ship for travel. But you'll probably want to speak to the dean.
Right. I assume he's in his office?
He is. I imagine his schedule's pretty open, so you can probably just head up there.
All right. Well, thank you for letting me know. I might actually go. Never been south. I've heard it's nice and warm.
I've heard so. Probably too warm for my tastes. But excuse me. I have a few things I need to get ready before I head out. But it was good to see you. And she heads off. So you head into the tower and see much of the same sight. People cleaning out some, taking some of the books and the tomes and ledgers and crating them up into boxes. And I think you maybe have a few other short conversations with people. And most of the supplies and research and valuables are being shipped off south to Ondok here, to the home of the Imperium, where most of the research is being gathered and poured over by the best minds of the Imperium to try to figure out what happened and how to reverse it. Of course, Hilda, and whether or not you decide to tell them is up to you, but you do find yourself outside of the dean's office.
She knocks on the door and kind of like straightens her stuff.
Come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
As you enter, you see the dean poring over some books and sorting through some tomes on his desk, and looks back at you, a bit surprised at first, then sort of shakes his head. Resignation says, "I figured you'd be back this way, Bellsinger. There's not much here. You're free to stay, and you have your room and board if you need it."
I just wanted to make sure I gave you that paper that I promised about all the research I've been doing.
Excellent. I'll look it over. I'm sure it's about as useful as everything else here is now.
Yes, it is. It does seem like a foolish thing, but a promise is a promise. And I wanted to know more about what was happening to this place. I hear there's going to be a meeting in the south.
Yes, there's a ship scheduled to leave in a few weeks. It's heading south to Ondok here. There's a summit I'll be attending as the dean of this institution, and well, I'm allowed to bring some with me, and most have turned down my offers, so if you're looking to, you're welcome to come too. It's not like we're short on space.
I would like that to come along, but I would like it if you treated me with more respect, sir.
He looks up, because Kim been like half paying attention to you this whole conversation, and looks up at you and sighs, puts the book back down and says, "You're right.
I know we had our differences.
At this point, we're all on equal footing. As much as I didn't approve of your studies and your research prior to this calamity, I suppose at this point, there's no way for me to dispute any of that, and I could have been wrong. And so it's not worth it for me to hold that against you, so you're right. For that, and the way I treated you, I apologize.
I guess that will have to do. I kept telling myself that I would come back here and I would prove to you that what I was doing was better than whatever you had, but again, I guess this is now a moot point. I'll have you know I would have definitely defeated you in a wizard's duel.
He cocks an eyebrow, and he says, "You know as well as I do that dueling isn't permitted on the grounds, but I suppose we'll never know. But I believe that we will need some out-of-the-box thinking in the years to come and solving this problem, so I suppose you're better suited than anyone to helping with this."
Yes, and I do know a bit about what happened, though I do not know the whole thing, the specifics, but I think with enough time and research, maybe there's a way we can... Maybe things won't be back exactly how they were, but perhaps there are new areas of study we could look into. New forms of power and understanding the world.
Perhaps. Well, we can speak more on that in the weeks to come, especially if you're traveling south. We'll have a few months at sea to theorize, I suppose. I'll be getting some things ready. You should do whatever you need to do to prepare yourself if you're going to be traveling. Oh, I almost forgot. Reaches down to the desk and fumbles through some papers, then pulls out an envelope and hands it out to you. It's still sealed. There's no other marking on it. It says, "This came for you a couple weeks back after all of this happened. I would have said word to you, but I don't even know how to do that now, so I suppose you write letters and send them and just wait."
Yes. There are a thing called messengers. Do you know who those from?
No. I didn't wish to pry.
Thank you. I think I'm going to just go to my old office and look over this.
Okay. You leave and begin heading back to your office. Before you get to the letter, what else does Hilda get into?
Well, she definitely at some point would go home to the family and sort of explain what the bells are.
Yeah.
So it's always been slightly a mystery, and now they know that they were keys and are bizarre and everything. I'm guessing, because you said magical items still work, so the
Mhm.
Like the inherent abilities of the bells are still.
Yeah, they still work.
Yeah, so it kind of displayed like some of these new unlocked features of the bells to the fan. And then she would probably go back to the guild. As sort of like her new home, and start sort of publishing the story of the Hope of Vagrants. Sort of starting from the beginning and kind of as like sort of like as like serials. So like would like publish like chapters every once in a while that people could read and learn the story of their adventures.
Do you publish it like under using everyone's names, or do you sort of fictionalize it a bit?
That's what I was like trying to decide if it's true. I think it's like a little bit fictionalized, but like most people are like, like isn't too far off the mark. But yeah, probably changes people's names, knowing that Jules would die if there was more. She had more fans.
Perfect. I'm sure it picks up in circulation at some point, and in the future, who knows? Maybe everyone knows the name of the Hope of Vagrants. And so, do you go to Alndakir with the?
Yes, she is very interested in that.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna talk about that very quickly. Gonna do and then before we get to the letter, the Imperium, as I said, is sort of in turmoil at this point. They most abandon their studies and attempt to find a new place in the world, seeking out different ways to use their knowledge and their abilities. Some turning to medicine and academic pursuits. Some of them returning to whatever former lives that they might have had before beginning this journey. But many seek to reclaim their power in various ways. Some seek artifacts which still hold magic. Others, like the ones that you travel with to Alndakir, seek to unravel this mystery and understand why and how and they lost their powers and how to get them back. I assume, does Hilda ever tell anyone?
I think she like does talk about like the arbiter, and like does mention like the appearance of light, but doesn't necessarily mention that like they made this decision.
Okay. Like, I uncovered this through my studies and have some third-hand accounts about this happening, but not like you were there and you made this choice.
Yeah, not that she made this choice, but yeah, maybe like would have like hinted that like saw this like person and this thing happened, and but yeah, doesn't want it to necessarily get out yet that they made this decision themselves.
Perfect. So we'll go ahead and do this then. You head back to your study, this letter in tow, all these possibilities ahead of you, and you sit down at your desk, break the wax seal, and retrieve the letter. And within, you see handwritten in a familiar font, Hilda, I hope this letter finds you. Given that my magic has left me, I believe you did it. You discovered the purpose of the bells. I'm glad. I truly am. I left the bells to you because they weren't safe with me. People were after me, still are after me. They wanted to use the power of the bells for something sinister. I had hoped that the loss of magic would deter them, but I fear they've only doubled their efforts. Dear cousin, I ask you this now because I have no other choice. Please, find me, so that we may stop the cult of chaos. With all haste, M.
Well, then that changes things.
So, with that in mind, and everything else that goes on, that might be a story to pick up at a future date. But I have a few other things, exposition that I want to get to. Besides the Imperium and everything else going on, there's equal amount of turmoil in the religious institutions of Sarthia, especially those that follow the Six. Many of those powerful religious figures looking to calm their acolytes and the faithful. There are many questions that are left unanswered in the face of this event, which is referred to as the Voidfall. Many question whether this is the judgment of the gods themselves, seeking answers from the Six that never come, believing that the world now lies abandoned by the gods. Some still claim to hear the words of the gods and still proselytize and spout divine edicts that many believe, though the four of you and some select others know to be false. There are many others that are skeptical of these claims, but many do flock to these new prophets in droves, eager to seek their guidance. The Six, now mortal, leave, seeking understanding and meditation within their own creations. Some articulate the reasons for their travels more clearly, others less so. Den and Kune seek what remains of the people they left behind during their lives as mortals. Lelabath disappears into the wilds. Gethys finds peace within the forests. Orisha, who lived for a millennia as a mortal after the Awakened Wars, finds home in places of learning, where she shares her infinite knowledge to help mortals survive in a world without magic. Charlie vanishes without a trace. The year is 737 JA. Judgment has come, and the world was forever changed. Thus began the Tenebri Ayatate, the Age of Darkness. And that's the end of the campaign.
Man.
So, got a couple little threads there, things going on for future campaigns, future one-shots. We may get to Hilda's hunt for her cousin at a future date. I think I do want to do that as a one-shot at some point. Kind of
Sweet.
on that. We have a couple of minutes. Do you guys have any questions? Anything that's come up? Anything you want to ask?
Do you still have the death predictions that we made?
Yes. Please.
Because
I have
do.
mine that I made. If you
Yes,
don't.
I have that. Who was the one that was supposed to make one for Barry? Because I never got one for Finn.
Jules.
It was me.
It was it?
I sent
Okay.
it to you.
Did you send it to me? Because I never got it. So if you have it, I'll need you to read it or send it to me. But I can read the other three. Because it never came up. If he had died, that I might have said something about it. But I realized last week that I never got one for Finn.
I'm unkillable. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. So
did a
yeah,
pretty good job of
notes.
staying alive.
I know I sent it to you somewhere.
I'll explain two things with the death predictions. So, Matthias's patron was a Skyne witch, which is a monster from the I think Tome of Foes. But basically, they have this ability called Bind Fates. And if we had done it where you guys encountered this creature in the wild, essentially what happens is, it's not Bind Fates, it's a different one. Sealed Destiny, that's what it is. So you basically do it exactly how they do. You pass a note to your left, somebody else writes it, but you need to predict them. You write down the manner of their death and their level. And if you die while they're within one level, at or within one level of the prediction, if they die at the same way that was predicted in the thing, then they come back to life. And if you die within one level, which because you guys also gave me levels for those, you gain some other useful bit of insight or something else special too. So the predictions that I had for Chad was for level 7.
Early.
Only for a very low level because we made these at like level 5.
Yeah.
Or like 3 or somewhere around there.
Oops.
Level 7, overrun by a group of enemies that is too big for him to fight alone. Hilda's was dying at level 8 by getting in over her head and trusting her magic to bail her out, but it fails her. We got in very close to that during the Beholder fight. I thought that might actually come to pass when you fell out because your magic, like you lost control of the spell and you fell down the hole. So I was like, that might happen, and it didn't. So I was like,
that's funny.
and then close. Jules, also level 8, will die in battle trying to protect her friends.
Aw. I guess I technically got the closest because Chad did die.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, Chad did die, but at that moment when he died, I was like, I don't think this fits because it wasn't a group of enemies. It was just the one really shitty spell. So what was the one? Did you find the one you wrote for
I
Finn?
did, yeah. I said Finn would die at level... Did I write down the level? 15. And I said that he would become too overconfident, sneak off somewhere without us, and encounter something that murdered him.
Okay. Which also never happened.
Which is overconfident stuff.
But yeah, it was a cool thing, and I thought if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, then it's fine too. But yeah, that's basically what Matthias's patron was able, essentially providing some insight into your deaths and might have bailed you guys out. But y'all were never in danger. So, any other questions or anything like that?
Oh, shoot. I'm trying to remember. I feel like I had one.
Well, one I kind of thought of is why did everyone play the class/character that they did? So, like, why that class or class combo, and what did you hope to accomplish with the character playing that kind of class? And so I guess I can maybe start to give everyone time to think. But
yeah.
And I don't know if we want to do this now or at the end, or
do you guys want to think about it for a bit and then do it at the end? Because looks like Jake is ready, and I would like to let everybody take their break if anybody needs to use the bathroom or anything.
Okay.
So we have time for this fight.
Yeah, I want to think
about
on
it on the break, and then we can either do it like right when we get back from the break, or we can do it at the end after our battle. That's a good one though. So think about that. If you have any other questions, we'll get to them at the end of the session. Sounds good. Okay. We're gonna take a break right now. We'll be back in a couple minutes, everyone. So we'll see you soon. And welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us on our break. We're here for we finished our epilogue. We're here for the kind of last hurrah send off to these characters with a good old fashioned monster fight. We have some new joining us. Jake is here to play with us. He is going to be joining us for our next campaign. As well as Juliet, who you might remember from like way back in Survivors Complex. But we're just gonna be coming in for this one shot here, so I'm excited to see your character in action. But yeah, this is gonna be pretty wild. Do we want to go ahead? So Alex asked a good question at the break for the epilogue. I don't know if you guys thought about that, or you want to wait to the end of the session.
I did, but my answer is pretty simple.
Okay, so Jake, since you weren't here, and those of you in the audience, you might not have seen it. Alex asked before we went on our break as why everyone picked the characters they did. Their like reasoning for it. Like, what was there was another part of it. I think that was a little more.
I mean, character and the class combo, and was there any interaction between the two, or?
Okay. So Alex, why don't you go first, since you're the one that posited the question?
Yeah. So I don't actually remember which came first, wanting to do, a tanky frontline fighter of some kind, or the idea to just the backstory idea. So I think I'll start with the backstory in that I'd wanted for a bit to play a character with the noble background, but I also didn't want them to be like a hoity-toity stuck-up noble, and like, what if they're a bastard? And then it's like, what if? And then once Sean had told us like the demographics of this part of Sarthia, it's like, what if he was a tiefling son of like a human lord? And that could lead to some interesting dynamics. And then in terms of class, and I mean, maybe this is where it tied together. It's like, okay, so he's obviously the bastard son. There are going to be other lordlings who are, holding that over him, lording it over him. And he's going to, learn how to fight back against that and be like, you might be able to say mean things to me, but if you say it again, I'm going to chop your head off. And so wanted to be a fighter, a battle master, because as you kind of as we learned, my turns were often the longest, because even though I am just a fighter, I had some of the most complicated and lengthy turns. But I did wanted to try a strength-based battle master, because I've done a dex-based battle master before, and that's pretty fun. But I wanted to try going with strength and just great weapons and big old weapons. And yeah, that's more or less how Chad came to be. It was also this fun thing of trying to figure out, okay, I really like the nickname of Chad. How can I find like a fancy name that would be his actual name? And that's how he got Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. Perfect. I don't know who wants to go next.
I'm prepared.
Yeah.
Because my
Jules.
answers are really simple for probably the first time in my life. For anyone on the internet who didn't know this about me, clerics are my favorite class. I know. Shocker. Everyone's shocked. I love clerics, and I really wanted to play a cleric again. So I picked one of the only cleric domains that was left that I hadn't got to play yet, and that was a life cleric. Turns out they're immensely underrated and really cool. They can do a lot of cool things. So I was really excited to get to put that into motion. As far as Jules herself, she came about through a series of dice rolls on a series of tables from the different books. When I picked a cleric, I think it's in Xanathar's, where it gives you the extra roll tables for the quirks that the classes can have. Oh yeah,
stuff. That thing is fun.
So I did that, and I got You Come From a Temple famed for the brewery it operates. Some say you smell like one of its ales. And then, so that's sort of where most of her backstory came about. I made her from a small town, so I could use the folk hero background, because again, that's something that I haven't gotten to use before. So yeah, that's how the temple attached to a brewery came about, and that's why she has proficiency in brewer's tools and all of that. And then my defining event from the folk hero background was that she saved people during a natural disaster. And again, through a series of a couple of rolls on a table, I got an avalanche, and that is how she sort of became the Ice Walker. And so to wrap that into something mechanically, we took the water genasi and reflavored it a little bit for
an ice genasi.
For an ice genasi. So I still had most of the water genasi abilities, just a couple of them slightly reflavored. And yeah, that's how Jules came to be.
Yeah.
A series of very exciting dice rolls. Oh, and the rusty cog alehouse came from the trinket that I rolled on the trinket table, which was a large rusty barnacle covered cog from a ship.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I literally carry that around with you.
Literally, I decided to play a cleric and rolled everything else, and it was
Yeah.
sort of this fun happenstance of different things that actually came together really well. It's the first time I've ever built a character mostly based on that, so it was awesome and fun, and I think she turned out really cool.
That's sweet.
So Finn or Hilda?
I can go next. So I wanted to play like a bard, but like not like the typical like just play music bard. And I remembered my like very like I'm pretty sure my very very first D&D character was like a bard that I played in like a one shot that Ryan ran, and she had like the bells, which are like obviously just stolen from the Abhorsen series, but tweaked slightly. But I like that idea of like that as a musical instrument. And so, yeah, so I want to play like a bard, but was like more, I don't know, I guess like technical. So that's why I like dipped a little bit of like wizard, which was like interesting to try to balance. Because like I had like certain like bard spells and like wizard spells, and I had like prepare those ones, but bards ones I would just have.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit extra work. But I thought it went pretty okay. And yeah, I'm trying to remember if there's more about. Yeah, I just like the idea of a more scholarly bard. So
I think that definitely came across.
Yeah.
And Finn.
I just like playing charismatic and sneaky classes.
So
I didn't want to be an assassin rogue because everyone's an assassin rogue. So the swashbuckler also benefits from charisma, and I'm thinking, how fast can I go in combat? So let's go swashbuckler to use charisma. And I was watching Gotham at the time, and Alfred's amazing. So 3-piece suit and a gun.
Yep. I
Not
think that's
Alfred.
pretty much.
Yeah, I sent you an image of Alfred. I was like, that's me.
Yeah, that's me. And can I have a gun?
And I found out Chad was a noble, and I'm like, well, I want to pretend to be a noble. And in Sunday's game, I'm a noble pretending to be a commoner. Because let's just
Can just
flip.
be what we are. Perfect. All right. Well, let's do this then. So we can meet our other character. So
Okay.
let me get the music changed just a little bit here for a moment.
Oh, and my name, I just like puns.
Oh yeah.
And being a con man made it easy to join the group.
All right. I had to do it one last time.
Rude.
Okay, you can start now.
Where we pick up is a quiet night in the Hope of Vagrants Guild Hall. The 4 founding members of the guild have turned in for the evening. But where we pick up and looking at is a bedside table in the room of Hilda. You see the bag of holding leaning or hanging on a hook on the on the corner, and resting on the bedside table there is a medium-sized bluish geode.
I knew it. Sorry, continue.
Suddenly, a flash of light and electricity goes cutting out in all directions, whelming around Chad, Finn, Jules, and Hilda. And in an instant, as quickly as the lightning comes, it is gone. And the 4 of you are abducted from your beds. And darkness. And then your eyes begin to open as you stir and emerge from this darkness, and you hear a voice. Hey, you're finally awake. And you open your eyes, coughing, as the dust on the ground swirls underneath you. And you look up, and you see a human-looking man with a brown beard standing on a stone, on the stone ground in front of you. And to either side, you just see your companions. You see the other members of your guild, and some strange dude that you've never seen before, who's also there.
What does he look like?
What does he look like, Jake?
He is about, I'm trying to remember what I look like. Stands about 6'3", kind of semi-stocky, and with dark gray hair, and piercing metallic silver eyes. And is just as confused by where he's at as you all are, and is not sure what to make of any of you, as he has not seen any of you ever before.
The man standing in front of you with the beard and is wearing a very simple kind of black clothing, black shirt, kind of dark breeches, wool, and cinched together with a brown belt, barefoot on the stone. And he says, I don't usually get as many of you coming through as there are right now. Stand up. All right, let's no, this will probably work then. You all begin to stand and rouse to your feet and realize your belongings are with you. That you have no concept of where you are. You find yourself standing on a stone platform, stretching out hundreds of feet on either direction in a circle, before there's a sheer drop off on the edge of the platform, and a gap to a circular exterior wall. I'm going to go ahead and take us over to this cool little image so y'all can see it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're currently standing in the center of. And this whole facility that you're currently standing on appears to be perched on the top of a mountain. The wind howls, the sun is beginning to set in the distance, casting long shadows over the scarred and cracked stone in front of you. I did forget that the dead Pegasus was still there. Whoops.
The corpse just flops down next to
Yeah.
us.
Boof.
Splat.
On the walls, in multiple sections, kind of matching each other, you see a series of letters carved in several places. SWTF. The man in front of you, as you stand up, says, "I will introduce myself to you as I have to everyone else. My name is Wesley. It's a pleasure to meet you."
Did you say your name was Leslie?
No, Wesley with the W.
Okay, Leslie. I've decided I'm going to call you Leslie.
Excuse my friend, he's a little
Rude. Where
rude.
are we?
That's difficult to explain. This is the Betwixt, I think is the best name. I'm the keeper of this dimension. It's a little hard to explain. I wouldn't try too much. It'll just make your head hurt. But this place is it's sort of an accident, a space between realities. People aren't supposed to end up here. I have no idea how people keep ending up here, but I'm going to try to get you going as quickly as I can. So, I guess just follow me, and I'm going to show you to the exit. All right?
Thank you.
Come on.
Appreciate that.
And he begins to walk across the platform and in the other to the other side, and you then hear a loud kind of screeching noise. Something totally catches you off guard. You find yourself covering your ears, and then a voice that follows it very quickly. It says, "Wesley, 1 second." He says, "Oh, hold on. That is my assistant." Yes. And it says, "I'm reading some strange things on the monitor. This might be our best chance to test it out. You think we can do that before you send them on?" He says, "Are you sure?" And kind of looks over the 5 of you and says, "I'm pretty sure it'll just kill them." He says, "No, I think they'll be fine. They seem competent enough based on the levels that I'm getting. Should be all right. Just go ahead, proceed with the testing." The screech happens once again, and the voice cuts off. And Wesley turns back to you and says, "So, one thing before you go then. I'd like for you to test out something that we recently acquired. Everybody feeling okay? Nobody has any aches and pains? All good? Do you need anything? I'll give you like a minute to get ready. It's going to attack you. You attack back. I'm sure you know the deal. You're carrying weapons. It'll all be okay."
But it's like a test?
Yes.
What are you testing it for?
A number of things. Called the stress test. How about that?
Is it multiple choice?
No, it's sort of one choice. Kill it or get killed.
That's multiple choices.
All right.
Yes.
Just don't
Two
get
choice.
chilled, Finn.
Now, you said it would probably kill us.
That was, yes.
Do you mean permanently?
No.
Do you
no.
mean permanently?
No.
Leslie.
We believe him.
Inside check.
Hey, inside check.
Sure.
No, it's fine.
The man.
No, Mr. Superman not home.
That's a 22 on insight.
Oh, dang, my dude.
Okay, he doesn't seem confident.
What is
We die,
permanency?
the world ends. It's all cool. Epilogue means nothing.
So, just have fun, stay loose, and we'll see how this goes. And he takes a step back, and a section of the ground begins to descend down with him, and he sort of just like follows the elevator downwards.
How long do we have?
As long as you need. And that cuts off.
Oh dear.
I
Okay.
shake this new guy's hand and be like, "Hi, I'm Finn."
I grab it very aggressively and
Oh, no.
shake like this because I don't know any of you and I don't trust you.
I'm the
So
most trustworthy person there is here right now.
That's a lie.
Can I try and persuade him?
How
Because last
tall?
time my persuasion went really well.
How tall is your character? How heavy is your character?
Oh my! If
Finn
you're
Not-
is, he's got noodle arms also.
He's noodling.
I have a 6 to my strength. Okay.
You basically just shake him.
Flung
Yeah,
him
that's what I
across the
was-
room.
Yeah, I'm just kind of picking him and putting him up and down
God.
with each handshake.
And if we just got dragged out of bed, I would be in my silk pajama suit.
No, you're in your normal.
Can I be in my silk pajama suit?
Okay, fine.
And
you're
then
in
your
silk
armor on top
pajama
of it.
suit.
Yeah, I've just got my chain vest shirt because that's the only armor I have
Sure.
underneath my silk. Oh, I'll be
Uh,
ready.
Feeling
Is it a
luxurious
silk
in battle.
suit?
Yeah,
Like
Jenna
on that
Barney
show?
from How I Met Your Mother. Yeah,
That one. All right.
Oh,
Well,
dear.
if I've got a second, and I did not seem convinced that that guy didn't think that we could actually die. So
Ooh.
Is there anything anybody wants to do or cast before we get started?
Yeah.
yes, please.
Yeah. Let me
I'm pretty certain Dimension Door can't get me out of here.
Nope.
Probably
Okay.
not.
Well, I'll cast Fast Step on myself and then activate my Rotopack Keeper, so I don't need to do that in the game.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Foresight on Jules.
Oh,
Okay.
exciting.
That is exciting.
Got to keep
Okay.
that cleric alive.
Yeah.
So advantage on attack rolls, disadvantage on attack rolls against you, advantage on all
Yes.
saving
Saves.
throws,
She gets
And
advantage on
ability
everything, and you get disadvantage.
on everything
In
against
killing
it.
them.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's not concentration, so
It's not.
So it's just
Okay.
done. Plus,
Yeah.
Jill's
I mean,
brain
I
almost
guess it
melted
can
last
be.
time.
It doesn't say anything about like not being able to be dispelled. So I guess.
oh
it
yeah, I'm
could.
sure it could be dispelled. Yeah, I mean it still is a level. It's a 9th level spell, so it's a hell of an ass to dispel it. But yeah, not that I think it's going to be an issue. Any other spells you need to?
I might. Well,
Spend them if you got them.
I don't
I'm
like
gonna
this
say-
new guy.
if I have that, then
What do you mean? Oh no, that new guy.
Yeah, me.
Leslie's
only Wesley
amazing.
has this.
Can I know Leslie's like epilogue after this?
Jeepers creepers. I'm gonna save that one. Can I just cast? Oh, beans. For right now, I'm gonna cast Beacon of Hope
Okay.
Ooh, that's
on everybody.
All right.
That's the healing thing doesn't matter because I already do that. Well, no, it does matter. Never mind.
It's
I can
max
read.
healing, right?
I can read. Advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws, and you regain the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing, not just from spells, minus from spells. So that includes potion.
So my
Perfect.
potion of healing I've had from the start
Bonk.
could come in handy.
Okay, so advantage on wisdom and death save. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your name again? Sorry, I didn't quite catch it.
It's toilet.
Nice to meet you. Toilet.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Actually, I
Best
changed
of
my
luck.
mind. I love this guy.
Everything's
Oh.
cannot be puns in the next game. Okay.
Too bad Ace Ventura is already here.
All right. I am gonna call you like Tua or Toy or something.
I'm
not
called. I'm
calling you
nicknaming you Dunny.
Toilet.
All right.
Okay.
The Oval
so,
Office.
You all hear, because my sound effect isn't working, it makes you so angry. You
Aw.
hear a slamming noise as the whole the platform you are standing on begins to shake in rhythm as doof, 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 and you finish casting these spells and preparing. There's this brilliant light that exudes from Jules that sort of bathes all of you at this beacon. You all feel hopeful at that point. And Jules, that same mind-melting foresight spell takes effect on you. And as all of this is
I can
finishing,
take it. My intelligence is 19.
there's
Good
one
point.
last slam, and you see a massive claw dig into the stone on the other end of the platform, and then another doof as rising up from the depths below. You see a gargantuan, this titan, brown, sort of leathery rock-like skin, spikes protruding down its back. You see a massive Tarask emerge from below. And I would like, as it roars out, everyone, or well, one of you, to roll initiative. So the way we do things for this game, Jake, is that I just ask one person roll initiative, and you're all going to go together. I don't really do separate turns, so you guys can decide, like, if you want to make a couple attacks, and then Child makes some attacks, and then you can finish up your turn and move somewhere else. You guys can all kind of go at once.
Okay.
And so, like, coordinate things amongst yourselves,
Yeah.
so that way you guys can combo
Okay, that
stuff.
makes sense.
Yeah. And then I will go, because you guys will get to go first, because Finn has a million.
What? We
Just
bet.
Finn
I'm making a
rolls so good.
14.
All right, Finn, throw your. Just go first. Go for it.
31.
There's no way. There is absolutely no way I can roll higher than that. So yes, you guys go. Do it.
My
Go.
gosh.
Never have to deal with this again. This is the
Wow.
last time.
Swashbuckler with charisma and alert. So good.
All right, what you got?
We could make this really quick. Hilda, do you still have true polymorph? We can just turn this thing into a cockroach and just.
I mean, if I have my stuff, but I still have the.
That would just be the biggest middle finger to Sean. I think you may die. I turn it into a cockroach and we step on it.
Let's not do that yet. But
You can certainly try.
I can. Okay, before anybody attacks, I'd like to try to eye bite it.
Okay.
Okay, let me.
What's the saving throw on that?
click. It is a wisdom. A wisdom saving throw. Sort of her eyes get all black and spooky.
That is a 26.
They totally saves.
As your eyes go black and
Very
spooky,
wise
you
boy.
you look up at the terrace that is looming down at you. There's just I mean, the size of the mouth is big enough to swallow the 5 of you whole at once. It is so massive. And you look up at it, and your tiny eyes sort of glare black, and it glares down at you and just and I think you lose enough of focus, and sort of it does not seem to be affected by that.
Yeah, I don't think things like that are going to work. Okay.
What question you gonna ask?
I'm trying to pull up the list so I can. Are there any spells or effects currently affecting the creature?
There are not.
Okay. Cool.
I think Chad's just gonna rush up and start hacking at one of its toes.
Do it.
Get it,
Do
it. Stab.
Boop, boop. That's a natural 20 on the first one.
Nice.
Only a 15 on the second. Then there's 22 and a 20.
The natural 20 hits.
Okay, but not even a 22 hits.
22 misses.
Oh boy. Whew. It's gonna be fun.
Big.
Yeah. Let me try a precision attack on the 22. Bump it up a little bit.
Okay.
So that's gonna add. Well, does a 23 hit?
Misses.
Okay.
That's not cool.
Yeah, so then it only takes 23 points of magical slashing damage.
All right. You run forward and slash throughout there 3 or 4 against it, and you're able to pierce through with the first one, sort of cutting into the claw of this creature. But there's a heavy amount of resistance. Your whole axe kind of shakes from the impact. This unexpected sort of solidity of this massive beast. The other 3 seem to not have any effect, just like glancing off of the creature. All right, who's next?
Guess I'll shoot him.
Go for it.
Chad moved next to him. That's all I wait for. Someone to get up next.
All right, make your attack.
First off, I'm gonna use my bonus action to curse this dude because
Okay.
I can.
It is cursed. That's a tiny little icon.
And well, bam. 21.
Misses.
Okay, I'll take my other shot. Well, bam. 31.
No, it hits. Can you imagine if I'd said a 31 misses? How would y'all be feeling right now?
I would be terrified.
I would have a 10% chance to hit this thing.
Run away!
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, let's. Why do I always roll a 1 on my sneak? That's 40.
40 points of damage. Just 40 points of damage. All right. Yeah, you let off 2 shots. The first one just glances off the side and goes like ricocheting into the wall. The second one, you aim and you fire, and it does pierce through the skin, and the whole creature kind of like quakes a little bit as you seem to hit something vital within its hard exterior. Anything else? So
Run as far as I can away from this thing because
so only
I'm
so
in
far
pajamas.
Yeah,
And
only
then
so
not
far you
drown.
can go. Yeah, move to the back. You do reach like near the edge of the cliff, and you can look down, and you see it's just a 1,000-foot drop from.
Cool.
the edge.
I'll go right to the edge. I don't care if I fall, I fly. It's cool.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Okay, that's where you're at then.
Oh boy.
Who else?
I'm gonna cast a spiritual weapon
Okay.
by it and try to hit it. With advantage, right? Is advantage on all attack rolls?
Yes. Advantage on all attack rolls.
I'm gonna cast it at 4th level.
Okay.
Do extra
Go big or go home.
damage. 26.
Just hits.
God, I'm so scared. Okay.
Oh man, okay.
So it gets 16 force damage.
Okay. Oh, no.
And then I guess I'm gonna hit it with this big club I have.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna try. Oh.
How much force
goodness.
damage did you say that was? Sorry.
I already forgot.
My thing kind of fucked up.
What
thought you
did I
said,
say?
14
15?
or 15?
I think 15. I already moved my dice.
Okay,
Sorry.
that sounds right. Sorry, that was my bad. All right, your next attack.
$24?
Misses.
Okay.
You sure?
I'm positive. All right. I think.
Yeah, I still.
Okay.
So for one of my turns, I would like to cast Armor of Atherigus at level 2.
Agathis? Okay. Yeah.
Level 2. And just so I can get right up into this thing.
Okay.
So, want to do that, and then I want to hit it.
Okay. It is your action to cast Armor of Agathis.
Got it.
So you wouldn't be able to use your action to attack as well.
Okay, cool.
So you can cast that and then have that ready for the next turn.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. All right.
As a bonus, I would like to inspire Chad.
Okay.
You got this, buddy.
All right.
Assuming I don't just get pancaked this time, because I assume I'm as tall as one of its toes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to see. Okay. That's going to be, I think that's it for all of you. So it is going to be the Tarask's turn. Yeah, this way you can do. It is going to use its frightful presence first. So I need everyone within 120 feet of it. So that's going to be everybody to make a wisdom saving throw
With advantage.
with advantage because of Beacon of Hope.
Do I
How
have
do you make
double
it-
advantage for being brave? Just kidding.
how do you roll with advantage in?
It may just be, depending on how your sheet is set up, it just may do auto advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, yours will
Alright.
just do auto advantage, so you can just roll it. It'll be
Said it was wisdom, right?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, you just did wisdom, not wisdom save.
Okay.
I think it's the
So
same
what's your
for-
saving throw bonus? I don't think it's going to be high enough, but
Oh no, it's
Okay, so one less of those.
So
Okay,
your
11.
wisdom save bonus is a 0, so it wouldn't have made a difference. You're still at 4 and 4.
yeah.
Okay. Which this is a fear effect. Does Beacon of Hope prevent you from being frightened, or does it?
That is an excellent question. I do not think so. No.
Okay, I just didn't know if it gave you advantage or if it.
Not
made
that
you
much
advantage.
hope.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Hero's Feast.
Okay. So we got a 4 from Toy.
toilet. Full name, please.
Okay.
We did your full name in that bone skeleton one shot. Okay, you can do toilet.
right.
Yeah.
All right, that's 4 from Toilet.
Alright.
Does an 18 succeed?
That does succeed.
Oh, which means I succeeded with a 19.
Yes, you do.
I also got 18.
Do you succeed?
28.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
dang,
succeed.
Jules.
Wow.
It's like this new
so
guy's just scared of everything.
So
New guy.
Toilet is you're currently frightened. You did move within melee of it, so you're still in melee. You can't move any closer.
Okay.
So if you move the other way, you won't be able to move back while you're still frightened. And you have a disadvantage on attack rolls against it. So we'll do that on your next turn because now it's going to make its attacks. So first, it is going to make a bite attack against. I think it's to do a bite attack against Toilet. I don't want to say this name. It's gonna be a 34 to hit. So
Yeah.
it's gonna hit.
Yeah.
Did you rage on your last turn?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Did you want to rage on your last turn?
You wouldn't be frightened.
Let's see.
Yeah, that I think you'd be immune to your frightened effect, and I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna take it easier on you because this is your first time ever playing
Yeah.
this character that you just made.
Mhm.
But you could have cast a spell and used your bonus action to rage
Right. Yeah. I mean, if we want
if you want to.
I'm kind of okay with taking the
Take the hit.
taking the hit for because of that, rather just
Okay.
hindsight, all of that.
That's fine. You can do that in your next turn. So that's going to be 44 points of piercing damage.
Boy.
You regret that hindsight comment, don't you?
But so with the I get
With the armor, yeah. So you have 5 temporary hit points, what level did you cast that at?
I cast it at level 2.
Level 2. Okay, so you have 5 temporary hit points.
Per level.
Okay, so it's a first level spell. So 10 temporary hit points, and it is going to take. If a creature hits you with a melee attack and you have these hit points, the creature takes 5 cold damage. So it's going to take 10 cold damage as well.
Okay. How many points was that?
44 minus the temporary hit points. So you had 10 temporary hit points, so 34 after you subtract those.
Like 205.
He's tankier than you, Chad.
And he's going to take 10 cold damage. All right. So Bite, you are currently grappled. You are in the creature's mouth right now. So that's we will deal with that on your next turn.
Does he get
Huh?
Sorry.
The next attack, he's going to do a claw attack against Chad. That's going to be a 34 to hit. So 30, 35 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Let's see. He has a reach on this one of 15 feet. So I'm going to say that, Jules, you're probably within melee for this one.
Yeah, I swung at him with my club.
That's right. I forgot. Is going to make a claw attack against you as well.
Sure.
It's a 36 to hit.
Let me check.
33 points of slashing damage. And then it was, actually with disadvantage, that was a 25 to hit. Is that still?
Oh, that still hits.
Does this still hit you? It's going to use its horn attack. Who else is probably? No, I think it's going to do against one of you guys. I think it's going to do horn attack against Chad. That's another 36 to hit.
Yeah.
28 piercing. And then a tail attack at Hilda, because this one's got a further reach.
Oh
20
boy.
feet. It's a 37 to hit.
Ouch.
For 24 bludgeoning damage. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh no. Okay, let's do this one. Strength. That's a 10. Oops.
Okay, you are knocked prone.
Ouch.
The
wind
Apparently, you had the least amount of distance to fall out of everyone. So.
Okay.
And that is going
Rude.
to be its turn. That's all 5 attacks. So it's back to you guys.
So I'm in the creature's mouth, correct?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
You doing the Pinocchio strategy? Attack it from the inside.
It's now I'm just thinking of a joke. Wait. So I have an idea, but I'm still kind of like thinking of it. So
Okay.
I may be able to help out with that as well. So I think unless someone has something else to do first, I'll just try and hit 4 times again.
If you want to do some spags, I was thinking like a Bigby's hand to try to pull the mouth open till toilet get out. But if it does that, then I can't do a force field for us yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me do my hits. Okay. 2 of those are hits, 29 and a 31.
Yes.
Nice.
I would like to attempt a disarming strike and see if I can make it drop it out of his mouth.
Okay.
Yes, that's perfect.
He doesn't need to make
Put it down.
Strength saving throw, which you will almost certainly succeed, but I gotta try.
Well, we'll see. That's actually only a 15.
That fails, so I make him drop.
Oh god, how
Our
far
new
does he fall?
I think he
Drop
falls
is
about
flat.
because he was just grabbed, pulled back up. I'm going to be nice and say he's only about like 15 feet in the air at that point. So I think you will take 3 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall.
okay.
Okay. And so all told, that's only going to be, let's see, 21 plus from the maneuver. That's 26 points of slashing damage.
Okay. All right, 26 points of damage. So, Toilet, you're now free.
Okay.
I think I am going to quickly bonus action second wind to heal myself.
Good idea.
So, y'all can keep going.
I'm gonna cast a spell. Another preemptive
Okay.
spell. Just in case. Let's see. I'm gonna cast Freedom of Movement on Chad. Because it lets you spend 5 feet of movement to automatically escape from things such as a creature having you grappled.
Oh.
That's a good one.
So if you get chomped, you can get out.
Perfect.
And then I'm gonna use my bonus action to hit it with my spiritual weapon that I remembered that I cast last turn.
Yeah, go for it.
I got back
Never
19
did.
health from second wind.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Bad. Super.
Don't you just heal max healing because of?
It's not healing.
No, she's
rolling
making
to
an
attack.
attack.
Well,
Oh,
but
man,
from Beacon
Chad.
of Hope, actually, would that...
Oh, with second wind.
Oh, wait.
Said
all
Did I say it
types
was
of
all
healing, right?
Is it all types
Sorry,
of
I
healing?
moved on. Yeah, from any healing.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so you get
actually I
max.
just get 30
Get
health
all of
back,
them.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
which actually I would have gotten 29. I'd forgotten that I'm level 20. So
Yeah.
I got one more health, but it's gonna help.
1 hit point is alive, my friends.
Yeah.
I miss.
Okay.
I rolled a
you
1 and a
missed.
2.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe his AC is like there's a really low threshold and
10.
a really high threshold.
I rolled a 10.
Yeah,
total.
that misses.
Oh,
At the end of your attack, though, it is going to use a legendary action. And is going to make a... I think it's going to make a claw attack back at you, Jules. And
Now
retaliation.
that just seems petty. I didn't even hit it.
You are the healer.
It just knows.
Which
Does it have the
understands.
intelligence to know that?
Maybe. You don't know. It's a... no, it's a disadvantage because of your
It
foresight.
is.
It's a 21 to hit.
That misses.
Hey.
Fuck you, dinosaur.
Would have been a 27. That's really good. So it just passes over your head.
is
think
this
that
thing
was
smarter
like-
than Chad?
Uh-oh. Now I
You
have
don't
to...
know.
I mean, I could
wanna
make it
know.
less smarter than Chad.
Uh,
I'm afraid of what it'll do if it's dumber. It might get meaner.
No, it just attacked you because you attacked it. I think that was more of a
It's mean.
retaliation thing.
Hey guys,
okay,
it's
so,
mean.
who's,
The
who
angry
else does he
boy.
know?
Okay. I would like to cast Wall of Force,
Ooh.
which is one of the spells I switched out, and sort of make like a panel, sort of like above us, almost like a ceiling. Of
Okay.
like a protective barrier, so like we could still go like underneath it,
Okay.
Okay.
but it's just
So-
protect us from above,
So,
so we can't like come chomp on us.
let me see.
Because it could make a horizontal barrier
Yeah.
at an angle.
Yeah, I was just looking at how far you could cover. You had 10 by 10 foot panels. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, it'll disrupt your guys' attack. You'll have to like purposely like go back underneath it and come back out,
Yeah.
which would be leaving its might provoke attacks of opportunity if you're one of the melee fighters.
Yeah.
But will definitely protect the spellcasters and stuff and the people in the
What do you
back.
guys think? My friends who get up close and personal.
If it's real bad, I'll just back off and switch to javelin.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I can only do anything they focus. So,
Okay.
and so yeah. So by all means,
Okay, because
Okay.
nothing can pass through it. So you
Okay.
can't hook the javelin through it. Okay.
You
It's
can
gonna
use it as
make
cover if you need to.
a wall of force barrier. I picture that part on like Jurassic Park when the T-Rex is like chomping down and they're
the
like holding up the glass.
Yeah. So what I'm imagining is because it's not you're wanting to do like a square or like a line.
Yeah, probably. Well, because it's like a big old circle, right?
Yeah, you won't be able to cover. You may. This area is very big, so you'll be able to cover a small portion that all of you can get under.
Okay, so
but
maybe
it's-
kind of like a rectangle, so it's a little bit wider.
Okay.
So we can still
Okay.
like move around part of the circle, but
So it's like 5 and 5, so 50 feet across and like
Yeah.
20 feet wide.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. We'll keep that in mind. And you're doing it right over yourself right now to protect yourself.
Yes, I'm gonna draw a little
okay.
shape on our little map. Right. There you go.
Okay. What I'll probably
It's not
what we
that
can go
perfect.
ahead and
Let's see. Oh, I can't change the proportions once you've drawn it. Dang it. Okay, hang on. Because it's more like. Because it's 2 and then 5 across. I don't know.
Yes.
Something like that.
So what I'll have you guys do is the people that are currently underneath it, in this barrier, can put themselves inside of it, and then the others will have so we can keep track of who's inside of it.
Here, I'll put it down there. So I'm taking
Okay.
up the whole thing.
Because I think Chad and Toilet are probably not currently inside of it.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, and Jules too. You're probably, because you're currently in melee with the creature, and then you guys can move into it on your turns if you
Okay.
would like. Okay.
I don't know how far away I am from this thing.
Because you ran away.
Yeah. You're
I
on
did
the
a
opposite
tactical
side.
repositioning.
Yeah, you're
wasn't
kind of like on
running
the
away.
opposite side of it. You're far enough away that it can't currently get you.
Okay, can I move? I'm going to move a little bit closer so I can shoot. Make sure I'm in range to shoot
Okay.
and avoid this barrier.
Okay. It is invisible, so it may come into effect of having you guys try to remember where this thing is, but for right now,
I didn't realize that. I thought it glowed. That's funny.
yeah.
Worst case, if I keep hitting this thing, I'm just going to activate my gem of seeing so I can see this wall.
Okay.
But for now, let's just shoot him.
Shoot her.
21 doesn't hit, does it?
No, it does not.
Okay, second shot. 28.
Does hit.
Whew. There we go, that's better. 46.
Oof. All right.
And then I'll use my bonus action to do my fast step, which I cast on myself before this fight started, and teleport back to that edge where I was before.
Okay. All right.
Right.
You got this, Toilet?
All right. So, I'm proper. And so I'm going to rage.
Okay.
And in my rage state, I'm going to want to go up and hit this thing. I'm two-handing my warhammer. And am I able? And there, because I think I can do this. It doesn't say anything that I can't, but not. Oh wait, that's the wrong. There we go. Divine Fury.
Okay.
It's part of being enraged.
Okay. When you're raging, the first creature hit takes extra damage. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. That just happens. So you've gone into your rage, which I think gets rid of your fear effect. Well, actually, no. I think that's just the Berserker rage. I don't think that's all barbarians. So you are still afraid of it, but you're still within melee. So you'll have disadvantage on your attack roll.
Yeah.
So just go to make your attacks. And you'll get to
so,
make another save at the end of your turn.
Okay, so I would just Would I just do strength then?
No, you can click the name on Roll20 of your
Of weapon. Okay.
of the weapon. Yeah.
And then, because I notice on my sheet there's a checkbox free, so go ahead and check that since I'm doing that too.
For what does it say? You're...
For the divine...
yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is going to miss.
Okay.
But you get another attack.
Let's just try it again.
Okay. Unfortunately, at disadvantage, that's still going to miss. So that'll still be a 14 to hit. So yeah, that'll miss. In your fear, you're having a hard time reconciling this rage that you're feeling, and also this terror you're feeling for this creature in front of you. And you slash at it twice, and you just can't. You're trying to like look away from it at the same time. You can't quite get your strikes in. You can go ahead and make another Wisdom saving throw, though.
Okay.
And that's an when you roll it, just go and like call out the number so that with the stream knows what you rolled.
So would it be the
first one?
Oh, the 18 then. 18.
Yeah. So that will succeed.
Cool.
On the save, so you are no longer frightened. Cool. It is going to use its last two legendary actions this turn to make another chomp attack. And it is going to chomp. Simon just wants to pick to toilet back up.
It's just a big old potty mouth.
Yeah, I think it is going to go for Chad. Since you hit it. So it's going to make a bite attack against you. That'll hit. With a 36 for 49 points of piercing damage.
That's a lot.
And you are grappled.
Just for a little bit.
For a little bit, yeah. All right, who hasn't gone yet?
I think
everyone
that's
gone?
everyone.
Okay. We're gonna change something up quickly, because what happens at the start of its next turn, that voice comes over the intercom again and says, Tarask, initiate code 357W4. And the Tarask sort of shudders for a second, and then its eye begins to glow a bright red color. And you watch as from its shoulders and from its chest, you watch as these panels open up and these turret guns begin to emerge from its shoulders. And these dials begin to flip out from its chest. And from its mouth, you see this cannon begin to extend outwards. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on the token layer. Okay. The Mecha Tarask will now take its turn. I've been waiting so long to do this. Okay, so it is going to start. Well,
oh my gosh,
Chad, you're in its mouth.
If you remove those attachments, you don't have to call toilet anymore.
Nope, too late now. It is going to use its first attack to swallow Chad. Now you're not restrained by it, so you are getting out's going to be pretty easy, but it is going to swallow you. And so it just leans back and whoosh, Chad just disappears down its gullet. You're not affected by it. You're kind of just like sliding down, and you land in this like what am I trying to say? chamber at the center of the Trask. You just feel this immense heat of the machine parts and everything around you that is kind of warming and heating this central chamber. So you're inside the Trask gullet right now, but we'll get to that.
You should just run around and see if anybody's piloting it.
It's Leslie.
Okay, let's see. This is you don't take the damage on the next start of the Trask's next turn. Okay, so you're good for now. The next attack it's going to make is with its shoulder-mounted turrets. And so it is going to fire at Finn.
I'm pretty certain it doesn't.
I'm pretty sure it's going to. That's going to be, holy shit, that was the worst attack roll I've ever made. That's only a 12 to hit.
Yes, it misses me.
It's gonna shoot at you again with its other shoulder mounted turret. It just, both of them open fire at the same time. That's a 26 to hit. 26 to hit.
Oh, I'm going to use my reaction and do this.
Okay.
Misses me.
All right.
Suck shit, you little robot.
I think
Can you guys say out loud what just happened?
I did Armor of Hexes, so if I roll higher than a 4 on a d6, it misses me because I'm amazing, and I'm amazing.
Rolled a 5. So the two turrets lock on, the laser sights lock onto Finn, and suddenly the Gatling gun begins to warp, and all the bullets just spray down towards Finn, who just begins to matrix out of the way, dodging every single one of them on the edge of this cliff, and you're not hit. Its fourth attack is going to be what it does is it shakes its head, and you watch as all of these small little objects come cascading down and landing at the area at its feet where Toilet and Jules are standing, and you just see these little beeping, glowing metallic objects just littered at your feet in every direction, as it uses its splinter mines.
Oh no!
Oh
no! Oh gosh!
Oh boy!
What a totally reasonable thing to happen.
What a completely normal thing.
Jules, you still have that fork.
Last,
we could just peace out of here, right?
It's going to make an attack with its you see its tail suddenly shing, two blades extend out from either end of its tail, and it slashes at Toilet.
Oh my gosh.
That's gonna hit with a 37 for 21 points of slashing damage. And it just you barely gets you. It slashes across your shoulder. Just blood begins to pour out, and it carves into the ground. Almost no resistance. Yeah, that might do something later. So we'll see. That's going to
considered magical because doesn't he take half damage?
No, it's not magical. So you will take half damage because you're raging. So I said 21. You can add 11 hit points back. You only would have taken 10. So good thing there, which it wouldn't matter if it was magical anyway. I think you'd still resist it. And that is the end of the Mecha Tarask's turn, which is a fun word to say.
I'm just gonna keep my meat shields alive.
It's y'all's turn now.
Gosh.
Well, I guess from inside, you said there's machinery around.
Yes, so there's machinery. You're in some sort of vat or chamber inside. You can see the chute you had just slid down through. But yeah, you're inside the Trask. You feel it heating up. So you feel like, you're resistant to fire damage. So you imagine it might get uncomfortable here in a minute. What would you like to do? But you're not restrained, so
I want to just hack some of the nearest machinery and not
All right.
like do hack, but
Surprise,
Man.
Chad's a hacker. We never
Man.
knew.
Hack the
Hacker man.
planet.
Hack the
All right.
planet.
Hack the Trask then, Chad.
yeah. Well, the first one's a natural 1, but then there's a 29 and a 31 to hit.
Those will both hit.
And I assume I don't get any kind of advantage from being inside. All I can do is hit the Tarask.
All you can do is hit the Trask.
Yeah. But so that's going to be 31 points of slashing damage between the 2 attacks.
Ouch. Okay.
And then I will use my movement to try and start climbing back out the chute.
Okay, which you can do. And so I think you climb back up and you're like just at the edge of its throat. You can see the cannon extended above you, embedded in the roof of its mouth that it hasn't shot yet, but it is kind of like you're hearing it kind of go wah, 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 like it is firing up. But yeah, you can see all your friends down there running around.
I wave my hand. Aww.
Oh, there he is.
Actually, I'm gonna action surge, and if I hear that cannon powering up, I'm gonna try and hit it a whole bunch.
Okay.
So, and let me try and take 4 hits against the cannon. So, gonna precision strike that first one.
Okay.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then for those of you at home, I got 2 crits after that.
Yeah.
So many crits.
So yeah,
My gosh.
that 25 becomes like a 34 to hit.
Oof.
So that's going to be, let me just use roll 20 as a calculator. 12 plus 27 plus 24 from the 2 crits. 63 points of damage focused on the cannon, if that does anything.
It may. You just strike at the can 3 times. You see it like sparking and sputtering, and like all these electronics are going off. It's still winding up, but you get the impression that you've damaged it very badly. So might not go so well after it fires.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Stay up next to it. I have full faith you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what I.
Yeah.
No, that's what I can do for now.
Okay. Who hasn't gone?
Chad's the only one that has gone.
Everyone but
Yeah, I was
Chad.
gonna say.
Yeah. Real quick, how many points of damage did I get hit in the last turn? What was it?
You got 10 total
10?
after the reduction. Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Do you still have that armor thing up? Does that mean it's like 10 cold damage?
No, because you took
time.
Yeah, because he took the full damage from it. He got the 10 temporary hit points, and then those were all gone in one hit.
Yeah.
Rip.
Okay. I would like to cast Crown of Stars.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have that as an action, and then as a bonus, I would like to inspire Finn.
Okay.
Thank you. Good question. How high above you did you make this barrier? Because I don't want to be running towards you next second. I just.
Head chop
I
off.
mean, tall enough for us, for our tallest friend to have a little bit of headroom.
Okay.
Just making sure I don't want to have the coat hanging myself and be like, I'm coming.
Joke's on you guys, tall people. I should have made it my height. No, yeah.
I'm just imagining all you guys like crouching down underneath it for safety.
But yeah, it's just like, you can get under it. It's sort of safe. Can I? Because it's invisible. Oh, and I can't do dancing light because I have concentration. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
So Finn, you have a D12 that you can use.
Yay.
Who else did I give inspiration to?
Chad.
Chad. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I was like, I have 2 left. I can't remember who I gave him. Okay. That's it for
All right.
Hilda.
Who's?
Well, I'm going to be a basic bitch and shoot it twice.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I do. I'll move forward a little bit where I was last time because I knew I could hit it from there. And just because I want to be super hilarious, I'm going to aim near Chad.
Okay.
I will aim at the cannon Also
Okay.
known as Chad. He just happens to be there.
I mean, my
22.
guns are more
I'm
impressive.
going to use my inspiration. 28.
That'll hit.
Yes.
Should
I'm
have
out
given
of
this thing a higher
inspiration.
AC.
49 on the
Oh,
first
man.
attack.
All right, 49.
And the second attack, another 22.
That will miss.
And I'm going to use my bonus action and I'm going to teleport next to Hilda because this thing keeps shooting at me. And if I have
Okay.
another target, it may split its attacks.
Okay, within the underneath the safety of the wall of force. Okay. Before Jules goes, it is going to use all 3 of its legendary actions. And you watch as the spines on its back fold down, revealing a series of gaps in its metal armor, and it is going to use its salvo to use its heat-seeking missiles as it releases 4 heat-seeking missiles out from its back, and those are going to hit. I'm going to say Jules. Well, it's going to aim for the 4 people on the ground. Jules.
Can it find me?
Huh?
I'm as cold as ice.
Are you actually cold? I don't know if we've ever
I
established.
think she's pretty cool.
Thank you.
That's a really.
I'm asking you.
I didn't think about your immunity to the heat-seeking missiles.
That I definitely have.
It's the
right
last
here.
session.
It's right here
It'll-
on my sheet.
It's
It
the last
says,
session.
At level
I'll
20,
say-
you're immune to missiles.
I'll take the extra hit
Yeah,
because I'm
well,
pretty hot.
Yeah, so those missiles go firing out and streaking down, avoiding objects. I think I'm trying to decide how they're going to react to the wall of force, if these missiles are going to be smart enough to avoid the obstruction,
Around them.
or
They know
if
it's
they're
there?
going to. Yeah. Huh?
Well,
I said, do
Is
they
it-
know it's there? I don't think even most
Yeah.
of us know it's there.
yeah. Isn't it semi-invisible?
It is
Completely
completely invisible.
Yeah.
So I guess the UV. Yeah. Okay. So here's what happens. Toilet's the only one that's going to get hit by
Oh
these.
no!
3 of the missiles, I think, will poof, poof into the wall of force and just
Okay.
explode. One of them does hit you. There's no attack roll; just automatically hits. For
1d4 plus 1.
it's going to be 17 bludgeoning and 18 fire. You reduce the bludgeoning, so you will take 8 bludgeoning and 18 fire damage.
18 bludgeoning. Alright, okay.
Well, now you guys can see it.
So 26
there's-
points of damage total.
All right.
Is this like
Missile
those
remains.
games when like an explosion happens near the world barrier? There's just that black smudge in the sky.
Yeah.
All right, that brings you down to 166.
Okay.
It's so
You're
squishy.
fine.
All right. That will be that'll be its legendary action. So
I go for it. Does anything else?
Yeah, you're gonna go.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna use my bonus action to hit it with my spiritual weapon. That's a 26
Okay.
to hit.
26 will just hit.
That's 14 force damage.
Okay.
And I am going to use my action to... Man, I have advantage on attack rolls. I gotta do these things. I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds
Okay.
at 3rd level. I'm gonna grab its big old toe.
Okay.
Try to kill it.
It's a real nasty hangnail.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Ooh. Oh fuck.
Io.
Eat me, dinosaur. I don't remember how much damage a spell does because I never use it because I always miss. 3, 4, that's 5 to 10.
This is where we see the dark side of Jules, where she inflicts pain instead of healing.
Yeah.
$58
Oof.
necrotic damage. Yeah, eat my
50
shorts,
58 necrotic damage.
dinosaur.
You grab onto its toe, and so this surge of necrotic energy through it. You can hear like some gears grinding inside of it as it's having trouble. But it's like the internal workings start to rust away. You see that this flesh exterior kind of dissolves. It just has a metal hand now. This metal claw, like Terminator style.
Oh no, I made it
Nice.
scarier.
As the slightly organic components of that make up the Tarrasque looking exterior of it have been decayed away.
Okay.
Is anyone not gone?
Gone yet.
Okay, go for it.
So we have those splinter mines still around myself and
Mhm.
Jules, correct?
Yes.
How about how many of them are there?
Dozens. Jules, I assume you didn't move on your turn. I actually forgot about that.
Oh heck. I always forget to move. Well,
You can if you're going to. I'm gonna
But I
need you
think
to
I'm
roll.
where it's safe.
what, to not get blown up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well.
jeez. Jeez Louise.
So I'll just go ahead and say how this is going to work because I think this is easier. So for each 5 feet of movement, you're going to have to roll a d6 to determine whether or not you step.
I'll just stand here.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. For right now.
Okay.
When you guys want to leave that area, let me know and I can teleport you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once.
I mean, I'd love to leave that area. But I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I literally cannot do anything.
Unless you're right
Unless
there.
next-
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
I
But-
can move you on top of it, but it's
I-
opening up and shooting missiles.
yeah, right. I'm going to do. I think I can cast. I think I can cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
Is that a spell?
Yeah.
This-
Yeah. So if you're raging, you can't cast can't cast spells.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. So I am still raging.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, you're raging for like the
Um,
next minute or longer.
yeah,
You're level
oh,
20,
okay,
so I
I
think
was-
you just get to rage forever.
In that case, if I'm raging forever, is there a way that I can just like I'm gonna say try to jump and like mount this pterosaur like it's Monster Hunter, like jump over the mines and onto the pterosaur?
So here's what I'll say for. Yeah, here's what we'll do. I'm gonna have you make a athletics check,
Okay.
which you have advantage on because you're raging.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll an athletics check.
All right. That's 25.
That'll be enough. Yeah, you leap onto the claw that's next to you that Jules has just skinned, and which gives you probably better handholds on like the metal and stuff. You just begin to like climb up. What I'm going to say is, so you want to like try to climb up onto the back of this thing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to get back up on top of, like on
Okay.
top of it, and try to get a as steady of a foothold.
Yeah. So I'll say it'll be your action to climb that far, but at the end of your turn, you will be on top of this thing. You can see the like missile silos that the heat-seeking missiles came out through.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on top of this creature now.
All right.
Again, I'm using a lot of terms and stuff that your characters wouldn't understand. It's the place that the big boom things came out from, because I don't think any of you would know what a missile or a missile silo is. So anyway,
We just know it's bad.
just bad.
Oh yeah, in the future of the School of Science, it's an attack they have.
Has anyone not gone yet? Is everyone gone for this turn? Okay, so it's gonna be back to the Tarrasque's turn. And I think this is what it's going to do, because you just hit it really bad. Jules and the Finn and Hilda was unsuccessful hitting you. I think you hear that voice over the over that monitor go, Mecha Tarask, calibrate targeting system calibrate targeting systems by 46 degrees. And you watch as the Tarask looms down right into Jules's face and right along the ground in the direction of the two of you hiding underneath.
Oh
thing. And that cannon heats up, and it is going to use its turn to fire its hyper cannon at the three of you.
Cool.
I need something brave.
I need the three of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save? Okay.
This is fine.
What'd you say,
Make
Barry?
Make a
I was going to do
hyper
something
cannon throw.
brave, and instead of old Finn, would have pushed Hilda slightly in front of him, just to be like, new Finn would step in front slightly. Not going to do much, but the gesture.
The gesture.
New Finn is like,
counts.
let's stand in front of the little person, because...
Oh,
So disadvantage
Okay.
on your saving throw, Finn.
Okay, I don't care.
Dex. Okay.
That's still a 16.
Okay.
Also 16.
21.
Jules succeeds. The other two fail.
What up?
Oh gosh.
So
Is this a half damage thing?
Yes, it is.
I use my
I
reaction
do my
to take
luck
no
point?
damage.
Yes, you can to roll one more time.
Now, I have a question.
Yeah.
When,
Oh,
when
no.
Barry's
That's
No.
That's even worse. You're all one.
That's a one.
So-
This
that's
is where,
also
like,
fail.
don't worry, I got this, Hilda. Just
I got this.
trips while he goes in front.
So I can use my reaction to take no damage if I succeed. It specifically says I interpose my shield between myself and the source of the effect. Now, I'm in front of them.
You're not directly in front of it. It's a
I'm
20
pretty
foot
much
wide
in front
line.
of them.
It's a 20 foot wide, 150 foot long line. This
You're no
cannon
fun.
is massive. I have to damage you guys somehow.
You did plenty! You hit me
Okay, I'll
like
say
All
this.
right, what you got?
You can prevent the other two from taking damage. You take the full damage.
Oh, heck. Did you say how much it was?
No,
Not
he
yet.
has not said yet.
No.
What can I do that for Hilda?
I
No,
was going to
guys.
give you the same option. As we're
Oh, boy.
double piccoloing this right now.
Guys.
You are holding yourself in front.
No.
Jules,
no!
you can
I
Jules,
hate it.
you can heal. Think of the greater good.
Okay. I'm gonna take no damage then.
Okay. Are you going to take
I'll heal you!
Finn, are you going to take additional
no.
damage?
I will take the additional damage.
Aw, buddy.
So it's
Lucky I
102 points
tripped.
of force damage.
That's cool, because I already just
100.
take half damage anyway because I'm roguish.
Yeah, you're not going to take half damage if you're taking her full damage, though. You're
Yeah.
Okay.
if you're going to piccolo this, you're taking 102 points of force damage. And I'll say Hilda won't take any.
Oh.
Okay, Hilda's got to keep the concentration up.
Ah.
Okay.
I can fix it.
Power word kill rage. Power word kill rage.
Yeah,
If this
'cause
thing
Karas
also
knows
has power word kill,
kill.
I'm turning the stream off.
You don't know if I'll be going, okay, Tarask, now power word kill. Like,
Now,
catch him.
here's the other thing that's going to happen.
No.
Because that cannon took a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh no.
I think at the same time, there's a secondary explosion that happens inside the mouth of the Trask. So the Trask isn't going to get to make a saving throw to this because it's embedded in its robot body. Chad, you can make a dexterity saving throw to avoid damage. From this.
Yeah, I don't know that
Yikes.
I can succeed.
You can do it.
I mean, try.
You were inspired.
You
can
are very
add a D12.
dexterous, are you?
Well, that's a natural 1, but I'm gonna use my legend point.
Okay. You're also inspired.
Well, inspiration's not gonna help in that one.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, re-roll that, but
Okay.
then depending on what you get, additions.
13, and then your inspiration is a D12.
D12.
Could.
16.
Total?
Yeah.
Okay. That will not succeed.
No, 16 on the D12.
Hold on. Indomitable.
Oh,
Oh heck.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
go fighter, go.
The inspiration's still gonna stay. Nope, that's worse.
Okay. Well, we did
Aw.
our best.
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
man.
So it is going to be. Let's see. What's a good? Yeah, we'll go with that amount of damage. Sounds right. Oh. I rolled very well on that. The Taras is going to take 66 points of. What type damage type is this going to be?
Laser.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same. I'm going to say force damage.
Laser.
Same for you, Chad.
Oh, I'm immune to laser
66.
damage.
Yeah, 66.
Okay.
Now
I
I'm
was
expecting one of the
expecting it to be
Thunderbolt
worse.
teams to be laser, blazer, taser.
Hey, will you get down here, please, so I can heal you, sir?
I mean, I am now right down in front
Yeah,
of you.
it's
You are.
not-
Oh,
You
God.
can see him.
Blew you out.
Yeah.
Pew.
So explosion goes off. The cannon is destroyed now. You just hear this kind of. Actually, from inside of it, Chad, you're just hearing this like as
Oh, no.
like the light is kind of flickering and the Taras is kind of stuttering right now. It's like pretty badly damaged. And yeah, this cannon is just flashing, it's sputtering and sparking. This now seems like it's going to work again. And that's going to be the end of the Taras turn.
Can we add some fire effects to the Tarask token?
Yeah, I'll get some
Once
fire
this is
going.
over,
You're the
Yeah.
artist, you draw the fire.
I do
Here
want
you
you to
go.
share a screenshot of the
Yeah,
form of
please,
the
please,
Trask,
please.
Sean, in the Discord.
It looks like the Trask's token is on the top layer. I was gonna put myself in its mouth.
Oh God! Oh no!
It's on fire.
Oh, bye, Chad.
Rip.
Rip, Chad.
Oh my gosh,
Goodness.
it's so good.
Hold on. I
Um,
can move.
Quick question,
There you go.
GM.
Yes.
Does a nat 20 on a con saving throw automatically succeed in maintaining a spell?
No.
Well, there's no point in me trying to maintain my spell.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh.
Don't think I can hit a 51.
I don't think so. Okay, so Finn,
Oh,
you're just
boy.
standing there like sore, like
Oh.
blasted by the force damage, just like
Line.
just scorched from the front, just this
I
outline of
hate
your
being-
body.
Nice. It just hurts you. I could have used Hilda as a shield.
All right, what your guys' round now? What do you do?
I'm shooting this motherfucker.
Okay.
Sorry, there's no teleport spell happening this time. I just got blasted by a hyper beam, which admittedly it should take its next turn to recharge if we're going for hyper beam rolls.
Yeah, I mean, cannon's gone. It's not getting that hyper beam again. But no,
Oh,
it does
boy.
not have to take a turn to recharge. This is
And
not Pokemon
I will
rules.
use my bonus action to do my cunning action aim, so I get advantage on this attack because I hate this dude.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my legend point. No, luck point. Let's
Okay.
roll again. Okay, I'll take my second attack.
Ah.
Wah, wah.
I'll use my
Ah.
legend point.
So we've gotten a 19, a 17, a 20, a 22.
Ah!
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
weird.
You
no.
cannot roll above a 10. So
Ouch.
bad. All
Wow.
4 of those miss.
My God.
Good grief.
I hate this game so much. I'm in so much pain right now.
I'm gonna do some healing.
Go for it.
I'm gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds at 6th level. So
Okay.
everybody gets 45.
Oof.
Back to triple digits.
Ba-da-da.
Are you still in its mouth though, Chad? Or
Yeah.
did you just put it there for the joke? Okay.
Back
No,
up
he's
to
still in there.
200.
Gosh.
Nice.
I
Jeez.
get more. I'm back at full.
I'm-
And I'm gonna use a bonus action to swing my spiritual weapon.
Okay, go for it.
Badly. I rolled 2 6s. And also roll 20 just crashed. I missed.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
It's
Okay.
I have a plus 11, so 17.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah, that misses.
Come on, roll 20. What are you doing? I'll fix it.
Okay. Who else? So a bunch of healing.
Okay.
All of you guys feeling right as rain.
Okay, but there's still all those like
There's still the mines.
mines around. Okay. Dang it.
Oh, sorry. Those mines ended at the start of its next turn. They just kind of all and
Okay, they all just
they're
sort of
gone.
powered down. Okay, because I
Yes.
was trying to think of a way to clear those out so Jules could move.
Yes, those are gone.
I'm gonna move my token over to the Mecha Godzilla because I'm on top
You are
of
on
it.
top of it. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
You are blocking my beautiful, beautiful artwork, but that's fine.
I don't
Here,
understand
here, we'll do
how.
that.
Yeah, there
The
you go.
fire
There we
is
go.
still
Look at that
visible.
beauty.
Okay.
Look at that
Change
beauty.
the thermostat next time, maybe.
Okay, I would like to blight the Mecha Tarask at 4th level.
Okay.
I'm gonna. No, not 4th level, 5th level. Okay. So an extra 1d8. Okay, so it's. Well, actually, first has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution
Which is
saving
probably gonna
throw.
totally succeed.
Well, yeah, it's a natural 20.
The Mecha
Okay.
Tarask is in the construct.
Okay, well, I think
is
it takes half.
Actually, that it is a construct.
Rip.
Okay. Okay, but for this spell, it doesn't affect it. It's only like plants that it does the. Yeah, it has no effect. Oh, you're right. I missed that part. So he's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Learning new things about this mecha. Okay.
Yes, it is a construct,
Okay.
which means it can't be healed like the dragon
War
was last
dragon.
time.
True.
I know
Okay.
Bastion can be healed in Overwatch and he's a construct.
But Bastion has a soul.
He does. He's a sweet boy. Okay, for a bonus, I'm gonna send one of my little stars at him.
Okay, this is a ranged spell attack.
Yes.
Okay, could you roll a d6 for me?
A d6. Okay. Here's my d6. That's a 6.
Perfect.
I don't like standing in front of.
Oh
So
no.
it's gonna bounce off the Tarask.
Oh gosh, really?
Go to make an attack. Yeah, go to make the attack roll.
Okay. That is 1, but I have to re-roll it because I'm a freaking okay. That's a 24 to
What's
hit.
your AC, Hilda?
Oh my gosh, not that. Wait, I can use prior action to shield. to bond.
You can if you want to.
Wait,
because it
no, that
bounces
wouldn't
off-
even work. That wouldn't work. It still
not
hits
enough?
me.
Okay, it bounces off the Tarask and then it hits you square in the face.
Oh my gosh. Ow. Ouch. Okay, well, how much damage do I do to myself? Click. 24 radiant damage. Straight to my face.
Yep.
I'm
Not very good for my complexion.
I'm assuming this is based before our final fight.
Yeah.
Can I laugh at that and be like, oh, so
Yeah.
shit? Because I get hit by it in the future.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's not even
Nice.
that bad of a hit. God.
Oh man.
Ah,
Okay.
all right. Let's.
That was a rough turn for Hilda.
Could have been
okay.
worse.
Cool.
Who's
All right.
next?
I think so. Here's what here's an idea I have. So I'm on top of. I want to go over to one of the shoulder-mounted turrets, and I want to kind of like hack at the base of it to try to get it to shoot at itself.
Okay.
So how do we go about making that happen?
Okay, so you want to redirect the turret so it shoots down into the Tarrasque instead of the.
So if it,
I'll say we could accomplish that through like an athletics check. So the strength of you just like pushing this thing and redirecting it, because you're not breaking the turret because you want it to still work. You just want it to shoot at the.
Yeah, so I would think of like if anything, like at most maybe so it's not able to target, and I kind of jam it into place with something. Say like I have javelins, like I stick a javelin in there and it like jams it up. So
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So make an athletics check with advantage.
So that's 30.
That's enough to direct it in the towards the so you've got directed, and then I'll say with your what would be your second attack, you can just make an attack roll with your javelin. We'll do it that way.
Okay. That's a 27.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. And you take your javelin, just like shove it into the gear, and it just kind of like locks in place. And you have it kind of pointed like at the neck of the Tarrasque, just like jammed there. And the whole thing's kind of like going, it's just like trying to turn back, but it just can't. Perfect.
Okay, cool.
We'll have to see on its turn when it tries to use it, how that turns out for it.
All right.
And now I think it's just me left.
I think so.
Yep. I am going to bonus action branding smite, so I get some extra radiant damage. And then I try and just for spite, hack at the tongue.
Okay.
Well, maybe. Let me do a precision attack to see if I can make the first one hit. Those were all pretty bad rolls, relatively speaking.
Relative to the Tarrasque's AC.
Yeah, well, that's the second time I've rolled 1 on a precision attack.
Oof.
Let me try again on that last one. That's also a 23 currently.
Okay.
In theory, I have a 75% chance of succeeding with this. There we go. That's a 12. So that's now a 35 to hit.
Okay, so you miss with the first 3.
Yep.
24, 19, 22. Yeah.
That was just exploded. Cut me some slack. That's going to be 14 slashing and then 9 radiant damage.
All right. 14 plus 9.
So do my own laser damage back at it.
Yeah. And you just slash down, like chop, 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 chop down at the tongue of the creature. And you realize with your first attack that the tongue is just painted on. It's not even really there. It's just the metal plating at the bottom of its mouth. And then you chop down the remaining 3 times, and you finally break through this metal plate into some of the gears and the mechanisms beneath. So you do damage. Are you staying in the mouth, or are you gonna move on?
I'm gonna kind of tumble out, probably landing at Jules's feet.
Yeah, Chad lands in front of you. I won't do any damage, but yeah, goes tumbling out of the Tarrasque's mouth.
And that's my turn.
Okay.
That brought up a valid point. Did Hilda have to con save for getting herself in the head?
Good point.
Question. The stars, is that a concentration check, or is
that part is not?
Okay, it's not. Okay, yeah.
But yes,
do a
I
con
do
save
for the wall of force.
If
Okay,
you knock
let's
your
see.
own concentration out, I'm gonna laugh.
Oh my
Especially
gosh.
after I just
Well, I
piccoloed.
get advantage on this. What am I trying to hit again? Let's see. I took 24.
23.
So that's 12.
Yeah,
Okay.
12.
Please succeed.
19.
Okay, yeah, you're good. So
Okay.
the wall of force is still up.
Yeah.
You start piccoloing it and you lose it because you hit yourself. And
It has
Oh my
not
gosh, could you
used its
imagine?
any legendary actions, so at the end of your last turn, it is going to do another salvo, and it is going to fire rockets at. Well, there's so limited amount of you I can hit at this point. Hilda, did you run back underneath the wall of force?
I never left it, so
So she's
You would have
been
had
behind
to
sitting
Finn.
here.
shoot the star. You would have.
Oh,
Could she just shot it out at the foot?
you're right. Okay,
And
let's
its mouth
see.
was like straight down.
I would
Yeah,
have given
it's
it
looking
some,
at us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah.
Because I shot at
Whatever.
it from with that move.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Okay, you guys are both still underneath it. So, and then you're on its back, Toilet. So
Yeah.
I really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's just nope. We're just gonna go with this. So it's going to fire two rockets, one at Finn and Hilda, but both of those miss because it strikes the wall of force. And then the other two rockets, one is going to be at Chad, and the other one is going to be at Toilet. I need you guys are both going to take a little bit of damage. Oh boy, I rolled a lot more damage than the second one. Chad, you take 17 bludgeoning, and then it would be 26 fire reduced to 13.
So 30 total.
Yeah. For Toilet, I rolled 41 bludgeoning, but you do reduce it by half. So you'll take 20 bludgeoning and 27 fire, so 47 points of damage total.
47. Okay.
Yeah. And then it's going to take its turn. Which... Was I saying something? Or...
No, go ahead. Sorry.
It's going to make a bite attack at Jules. It's a 28 to hit for 36 piercing damage.
So at disadvantage.
That it was a disadvantage, yeah. And you are grappled. It's then going to make a claw or one shoulder-mounted turret attack against Chad, against Chad. That's a 21 though, so I think does that miss?
That meets?
Meets?
Yeah, that meets.
Okay, so 24 piercing. The other shoulder-mounted turret is going to shoot at itself. That's only a 23 to hit though. So it's just like shooting into its neck, and it's beginning to chip away, but it's not doing. I don't think it ever realizes yet what's happening, but it's just shooting straight into it, beginning to chip away at, like the armor and the metal. But it's not shooting at you guys. And then it's going to do a. It's going to scatter some more splinter mines on the ground in the area around the wall of force. Some of them land on top of the wall, and the others kind of land on the ground in front and behind, kind of in front of the terrace where where Chad is on the ground currently. And then is going to use its scythe tail. I'm going to make the call. This is probably the only one it could actually get underneath the wall of force because it's just going to sweep low and underneath.
Makes sense.
And it's going to try to hit Hilda.
Sweet. What you got?
That's a 27
Ouch.
for 21 slashing.
Okay.
And the whole thing is just kind of like stuttering, and it's trying to move, and its movements have gotten a lot more jerky. It can't use its cannon, which is frustrating. That's the end of its turn.
I can try and make it spit you out again, Jules.
Sure.
A quick question first before you do that, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
If she falls out onto the mines, is that just
Well, we don't know what the mines do yet, technically, because none of them got
Yeah.
off.
They could be healing mines.
Yeah. Okay.
Are
Okay.
they? Finn runs out and rolls in them.
Wait a minute.
Hey, Toilet, you should check that out for us.
Okay,
Damn,
that's a
Chad.
lot of hits.
Yeah. I'll
Oh,
hop
dang.
down.
So I would like
Thanks, Mac.
strength saving throw, please, as I try and make it spit Jules out.
Put it down.
It's a 26.
That succeeds. So sorry, Jules,
That's okay.
but
I can get
it's
out.
gonna take 45 points of slashing damage.
Ow. Okay.
Action surge, because it looks
Go for
pretty
it.
rough.
It does look pretty rough.
Oh, well. All for nothing.
Ugh.
Oh man. Letting out your barrage of 8 attacks against it, you get a solid start hitting with the 3, carving through it, and then I think this like secondary protective blast shielding kind of like descends down in front of you on its chest, and it just like hammer against it. You can't get through it. Yeah, it is. Last 4 attacks are unsuccessful. Okay. Who's next?
I'm gonna heal Chad.
Okay.
I cast heal on Chad.
Oh. Okay.
So
So what,
that's
70?
70.
Oh, dang.
And also blindness, deafness, and any diseases. I don't know that you have any of those.
Well, there was the one that Chad wasn't gonna bring up, but was getting uncomfortable. No.
His astigmatism.
Okay.
That's why I missed all those last attacks, because he can't see very well.
Okay. Anything else
Yes.
from
Yeah, I'm gonna use my
Jules?
spiritual weapon, bonk it on the nose.
Do
Say,
it.
let me go.
Drop it.
Bonk.
Can you change your weapon to a rolled up thing in
Yeah.
newspaper and stop it?
Bad. It's the natural 20.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not that much damage, just like 2d8 or something. Yeah.
As it's on 2 health and it's like,
There's 2 more. $29 force damage.
Ow.
Let me go.
Okay. All right. You bonk it on the nose and you hit it and it kind of growls. And this like tinier growl than before. Like the speakers that were making that noise are damaged. But it is going to use 2 of its legendary actions to swallow you.
Oh.
Okay.
You're now in its stomach.
Gross.
And
It's
now
not too
I
bad
have
in
you
there.
guys. Now I have you guys without a healer. Perfect.
I'll just repeat what I previously did. Not move, take advantage, and hope I hit this time.
Yeah, go for it. Again, firing at its feet.
29.
That hits.
Nice.
You swallowed my healer, so I'm gonna Eldritch Smite you as well. Even though I didn't crit. Give me back my healer. 58 damage. Give me my healer.
Drop it.
Okay.
Dang.
Is it still making grinding noises?
Yes.
Oh, shoot him again.
Do it.
That's not at advantage, my bad. That's just a 23, but I'll use my luck.
Okay.
26.
Just hits.
Give me my healer. 26.
Okay. It is going to use its last legendary action to make a tail attack against you, Finn.
I did nothing to it. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. You're just picking on me.
Rigged.
That's a natural 20.
Do it. Do it. Fucking do it. Bring it.
Oh,
So
man.
okay,
Bring it. I'm going to use my armor of hexes and see if it just misses.
That's probably a good idea.
It's that or I half the damage.
So
What do I use my
You got
reaction
all-
on?
Oh.
It can't do 252 damage, right? It can't do 252.
That's where you're at?
No, I'm at 126, but I can either halve it or I can try and use my reaction to take none.
it's up to you.
I'm going to do what I did against the big bad guy, and I'm just going to take the hit and I'll halve it.
Okay.
So you only take 26 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey!
However, you are going to lose an appendage. So I think Finn loses one of his arms.
Why would you take my arm?
I'm just so glad it's not me this time.
Every campaign I'm in, I lose an appendage.
Every campaign
So-
we're in with Sean, he cuts off somebody's arm.
So you leap out of the way of you, and I think it doesn't hurt as much as you expect because the blade is so pristine and so sharp. And you leap out of the way, and you're like, I avoided it. And you look down, and your left arm is gone.
Before I realize, I want to turn to Hilda and be like, "Are you okay?" I thought that was gonna hurt. I thought that was gonna hit one of us.
Now, is it gone or just off?
It's off. It's on the ground.
Okay.
It's just
Did it tumble into a mine? Did it heal?
Leave it there. I can put it back on.
Roll a d6.
Stop it. Why are you all like this?
oh no.
I have
One.
never
No,
played
it
a
does
healer
not.
ever again.
It does not hit a mine.
Like,
Cooler of ice.
so are you okay, Hilda?
I'm.
Look, he said I piccoloed
I-
stuff. Can I just grow it back with my?
Yeah.
Just
All right.
listen, it's fine.
Let's get this train back on the rails.
When was it ever on them?
Oh boy.
Who hasn't gone yet for this turn?
I have not gone yet.
My left arm.
Yeah. Yeah. So your left arm twitches, and then
I am not left-handed.
Jules is inside of there. Okay, I can't do this yet. Alright. I don't know what to
or you go
do.
totally JoJo. You just grab it and go like stab it into
Smack
the
him with
terrace.
it.
Start punching it with your.
You're like, I'm feeling a bit faint.
Okay, I would like to. I can't fight it. Shoot. I'm just gonna attack it with another star.
Okay.
I'm stepping like
Okay,
to
you
the
said
side
it
of
was a
Hilda.
d6?
'Cause it-
Yeah. Roll a d6.
Okay,
Don't roll a 6.
a 2.
Okay. So you send the star flying in the direction of the Tarask. It still deflects off and flies up, and you get the impression that it's not affected by ranged attack roll. Ranged spell attacks.
Oh, rude. Okay, and then as an action, can I just like make sure Finn doesn't bleed out because he doesn't have an arm now?
Yeah.
All I'm picturing is whenever my heart beats, it goes.
Oh no!
We all know Finn's greatest concern is my suit's destroyed.
Come
Yeah.
here, let me.
Does
let me
anyone
look
know
at
mending?
this.
Does anyone?
I know mending,
All right.
but the
Just for the
okay, yeah.
suit.
Can I do like a medicine check to like?
To stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. He's just bleeding everywhere. That's pretty good. I don't know what my plus to nature is. I mean, medicine. Probably not good as Jules. 17.
17. Okay. I think you do the best you can to stop
Yeah.
the bleeding and
Like,
make sure he's not
get-
going
get
to
here,
die from blood loss.
Yeah.
He seems to be in shock right
Prestigitate.
now.
Prestigitate. Prestigitate.
Okay. That will be Hilda's turn. Has anyone else not gone?
Yeah, I still need to go.
Okay.
I'm
I'll go for it.
I think at the top I see Finn's arm go flying and I just go, I'll help later. I'll be down in a minute. But first I'm gonna do an attack against the Tarask while I'm still on its back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a two-handed Warhammer attack.
Okay.
But I'm going to guided strike.
Okay. Which I think gives you the plus 10 on your.
Yeah. So
So you can do that after you make the attack. You don't have to. You don't have to declare it before time. So you can go and roll, and if you miss, then you can add the plus 10. So yeah,
Yeah, I want that plus.
yeah. So that will hit.
All right.
And go and roll damage with your additional rage and
Okay.
all that good
So
stuff.
So what I just hit, so I got 4. I got the rage damage. Do rage?
Yeah, and your divine fury too.
Okay.
And then you just click the wording on Roll20 underneath where you see the numbers. So where it says Warhammer two-handed in the chat.
Oh, okay.
We can set that to auto on when we get set up for next week. Okay. So it's 24 points of damage. And you do get a second strike if you want to go and make your attack.
Yeah, we'll do another strike. So would it be the same?
Yeah.
Another attack roll?
Yeah, another attack roll. And a 26 will hit. You don't get the divine fury, but you still get your rage damage and your bludgeoning damage. So
Gotcha.
You just uncheck the divine fury.
Yeah.
So 15. All right. Okay. So with 2 strikes in the back, just slam down into like the base of the neck for the Tarask, just busting through the armored plating. You can see some of the gears inside. There is smoke that is rising up from all the joints and all the gaps in the Tarask right now, and it is just like shuddering with each movement, trying to move. So that is Toilet's turn. Has anyone else not gone? I think everyone else is gone, so I think it's the Tarask's turn. Okay. Damn, this would be a great time for one last cannon blast, but he can't do that, so he's just gonna wail on people. So it's gonna make a. Oh, Jules, you are in its stomach. So at the start of your turn,
what happens to me?
you take 56 points of fire damage.
Half.
It's the Tarask's turn right now, right?
Yeah, the Tarask's turn. So at the start of the Tarask's turn, you take 56 points of.
Half because of my armor.
Yes, so 23. You're 20.
You lose an arm.
How many?
Yeah, and you lose an arm. 28 points. Then it is going to make a bite attack. Who else is in front of Chad? Are you the only person in front of her? It's going to make a bite attack against Chad. That's only a 23 to hit.
That hits.
52 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And you are grappled. It is going to make a shoulder-mounted turret attack against... I don't know who it can hit. Because you're both underneath the thing.
Yeah, itself.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. I'm going to save that one for last.
Once it's ranged, turn around. Oh, is this because it may kill itself and you want to try and kill us first?
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to make a tail attack against Hilda.
Take my other arm.
Okay.
Hilda, that's a 21 to hit.
I'm going to use shield.
Okay, you deflect it with your shield. And
I like to think that shield stopped it from hitting both of us, because I think I'm sitting on the ground right now going, I'm just kind of like...
Yeah, she's just like, no!
It shakes off some more splinter mines, even though there's nobody on the ground around it now, and then it's going to fire its shoulder-mounted turret one more time. Okay, that's only a 14. It does not pierce its own flesh. That would have been an embarrassing way to die. That will end the Tarask's turn.
Oh boy. Okay.
Essentially, who wants the killing blow?
Can I try and slap it with my arm? Just... I just want to beat you with my arm.
You want to run up to it in melee?
Yeah.
With the splinter mine still there?
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh my gosh, I just watched it just like explode.
I'm not gonna, because you're
wait, hold on. Oh, it takes an action. Yeah, nah. Let's okay.
Okay, so they're not fully covering the ground, so I'm gonna say roll 4d6s for me.
Oh no.
Look, I still have 100 health, guys. It should be fine. 2 6s, a 1 and a 4.
Perfect. Okay, so what happens is you step on one of the mines, it detonates, and then there's a scattering effect where they all detonate. You're the only one in the radius right now, so it's not going to affect anyone else.
Oh, no.
You can make a dexterity saving throw.
I love this, guys. Look at this. I make a dex save and I just take 0 damage. I'm out of luck points as well.
Oh.
That means you die, right?
Different game.
You take 35 points of fire damage.
I take
from
half
explosion.
that because
So, yeah, you
I
do.
just take half of any dex
So-
save.
17.
Yes, we got this.
Yeah. As you run
And he'll
up
just
and
like,
then slap it with your arm for no reason.
Oh, because my arm's really light. Is it finesse?
Finesse?
weapon?
No, it's not a finesse. Roll a rate, make a strength-based attack. This is an
I
improvised
make it
weapon.
my packed weapon so I can use my charisma.
I think it would take some time to do that. Make a strength-based attack, Finn. We all know how strong you are.
Yeah, I'm trying to. So this is just gonna be. 1d20 plus 4. My proficiency 6. My strength's -2. So it's
Okay.
plus
I don't think you
4.
can hit
I-
it.
Unless
I
you
think you
crit.
need a natural 20 to hit.
All right, come on, buddy. Oh.
Nope.
11.
You just slap it. There's a slapping noise that happens.
Was it in range of its mines?
Its own
Yes, but
mines?
it's immune to fire damage.
It's fine. I can't do anything to it. Kill it, Chad.
Do you want to kill it, or should I kill it, or toilet?
Yeah, I mean,
Aw.
I can take it. I can take
Combo
like,
attack.
We'll do
Yeah,
a combo attack. You all go at once. What does
I was
everyone do
looking
at
to
this
see
as
what
you
spells
attack
I
it from
have.
3 points?
I'm gonna slide down its throat, kind of like they do in pirate movies, or like where they stick a sword in the canvas and slide down. I'm doing that with its
Yes.
throat, just riding down to try and help Jules get out.
Just make your attacks. I just want to make sure somebody hits it because there's a
Okay.
chance nobody hits it and I get through a round.
I
unscathed.
hit twice.
all
Okay.
right. I'm gonna do. Oh wait, did you finish?
No, we're doing. I'm gonna
Oh, okay.
resolve all these at once.
Oh, there we go, baby.
Okay.
This is
28
the same
to-
time
do-
I slap it, so
you
I
make
feel
your
like
second
I did
attack too. if you want.
it.
And Jules, what are you doing inside of it?
Well, I know it's immune to fire damage, but it's not immune to radiant damage, right?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Flame Strike at 8th level from inside it. Good luck with your dexterity saving throw.
Epic.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't even care. I would cast it on myself if I have to.
What's your DC?
19.
Yeah, it doesn't even succeed on it. I gave it one just to see what happened.
Four,
Yeah, it fails.
five, six, it's 7d6 radiant damage to this fool.
So I think this is the description.
I
This
see
is
how much it
the
is?
picture we get. Yeah, go for it.
That makes me very happy. Wow.
So it had 15 hit points left. Just so
Oh.
For some reason, I can't click on my thing, and there's something blocking my Warhammer thing. So for some reason, I can't click it.
It's 31.
Oh wait, let me try
31.
now.
with just
There
the
we go.
radiant.
There
Yeah,
we
that was
go.
just a radiant. I didn't even roll the fire.
Perfect. Okay, so here's what happens. Chad, inside the things about, I think you rip yourself free of the teeth, and then you go sliding down the throat, just like dragging your battle axe with you, and you all see the sparking and smoke come rising up from the throat. You enter the stomach, and then all of you see from outside just this pillar of radiant light and flame just shoot up from the ground and pierce straight through the stomach. And just as Chad, you reach the interior, you see this perfect hole in the base of the stomach here that Jules is now standing in front of, and at that same time you begin to hear this just hammering from above as Toilet is just smacking the base of the neck, breaking through the armored plating. There's a whole bundle of wires there, and you just like rip those out, and the whole terrace just begins to shudder and shake, and you all leap down through the hole and out of it as it then bursts into flames, and you see that the skin melt away, so it just reveals the metal skeleton of the Tarrasque, and it leans back on two legs kind of towards the cliff face, and then just tumbles down out off the edge and out of sight. And you hear a heavy impact somewhere below.
I would like to wave to everyone.
Oh God, can I put Finn's arm back on?
My arm.
I've never gotten to do this. I've never had that.
Yeah, you did it to your father.
No, I had to grow his back. I've never actually had the limb. If I hold
It's true, it got
if I
stuck on his
hold
side.
if I hold your arm up and cast regenerate, it just instantly knits back together. You don't even have
Can
to
we make
grow
sure
a
we
new
got
one.
it the right way?
I put it on backwards on purpose.
Yeah.
I looked at before you do that. I looked at Finn. I looked at Finn and go, "Looks like you need a lay of hands."
Meh.
No.
No.
I
put Finn's arm back on.
Okay,
I
do you
tried to
put
do
it
my
back
best
on?
to stop it from bleeding.
Do you make sure it's facing the right way?
Yes, I make
before
sure
you
it's
do it?
facing the
Can-
right
can
way.
we
I have a
roll to
plus
see if it's
11.
facing backwards?
Do I need to make a
Because
medicine
maybe
check?
just Finn had an upside down arm for the rest of the game. And you
So
guys
do I
didn't
have
know.
to? Do I have to make a medicine check, or do I have to roll
The
to
one thing
remember
you
if
guys
Finn has
never
always
noticed-
had an upside down arm?
He always did, and you guys never noticed. You put it back how you consider normal, and I'm like, this feels weird.
It's like, what is
I'll
this?
roll.
You?
He was half Rakshasa.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with him.
There is a there is a no screeching from the loudspeakers, and you hear the that voice again call out and says, "Weapons testing completed. Somebody go retrieve that." And then it like clicks and turns off again, and then the floor opens up, and Wesley comes back out through it and says, "I gotta remember the voice.
It was Messiah's
Just
side.
say juniper berries a bunch of times, and you'll get it.
Juniper berries. Hey, you're finally awake." Okay, it says, "I'm glad to see that you're all still alive.
Are you?
That was just."
Does that satisfy your test?
Yes, it does. We'll go ahead and get you out of here now. Thank you for helping us in our testing. We at Sarthia Weapons Testing Facility take great pride in our desire to provide the best in defensive weaponry to all that partake. I'm tired. Let's go." And he
Yeah,
turns
we don't
around and
care.
starts.
You make everybody who comes through here test your machines.
Can we just shoot him?
You're
most-
tired.
Most of them. We've had a few. There are actually some that have been waiting over here to leave. It's kind of hit or miss after the testing is done, how long it takes them. So we've got a few. And he leads you into a room, and you enter this chamber, and it's actually really nice. It's like kind of like a break room. There's like a table and some like board games on it, and then there's like a couch and a TV on the far side of the room, with I think like a Nintendo 64 hooked up to it. And you see sitting in there I think currently playing on the N64. You see a scraggly looking dwarven man
In a
see
flesh
giant-
suit? Yes.
you see a giant elephant man sitting next to you. You see two drow, Mel and Paul, sitting at the table playing a board game with with Daffy and Orzib. And then there are two hobgoblins sitting
I
in the
imagine they're
corner.
playing Smash with Barum.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
As
Toilet
Jules-
Main's Kirby.
As Jules walks into the room and just makes eye contact with the hobgoblin, she just goes, "You."
And they
Feels
just turn back
familiar.
towards you and just like hold up the controllers. And then there is a flash of light, and electricity, and then you're all back in your beds. And you don't remember anything that just happened. It all leaves like a dream. You just wake up in the middle of the night. And that's the end of this clusterfuck.
Hey!
That was fun.
Becca Tarask.
That was fun.
That was epic.
Oh my gosh.
I just pictured Godzilla screaming sound.
Yeah.
Move your token so I can take a screenshot of this fool.
Oh, yes.
As opposed to the Discord.
There
yes. It's so good.
White pics.
So I didn't actually mess with the art. I just like have the assets sitting on top
Yeah,
of it.
just right on top.
Yeah. No, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Got it.
Really? I thought you used Photoshop because I can't tell that.
It's so
If you can't tell,
realistic.
I didn't draw it myself. Yeah. So yeah, that's our
If I have
ending.
one complaint, there's only one gun turret on its shoulder. Where's the one behind it?
That would have taken
You
a
can't
level
see it behind
of-
its massive head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
directly behind its head. So last for especially for Jake and those of you that haven't like played through a campaign with me, I think we've always done one of these like weird fights at the end. The first one we did was a Kraken fight. Last time it was a regular Tarask, and then I was like, how do I up a regular Tarask? So I joked about doing 2 Tarasks, which I realized would have been like nuts. So yeah, Mecha Tarask. I don't know what I'll do next time. Maybe some sort of Tarask.
Mecha Kraken.
Mecha Kraken. Mecha Tarask Kraken. Kraken?
For
It's got,
Thunderbolt
like-
final is the
McCracken.
team has to take down a Tarask and then it goes into the normal rules.
Yeah.
Oh
or
my
the other
gosh.
team is just a bunch of tentacles on the ground, like passing the ball back and
Or
forth
there's
of
that
the
really,
Kraken.
really bad
No.
movie. It's like the Sharktopus. It's just a
Yeah.
Kraken and a Taraken
That's capable of
Oh my
playing Thunderball.
god. I'm into that.
by itself. Its tentacles are player.
Yeah, 6 tentacles on the field that are the players. It's horrifying. So yeah, that's it. We will be back next week to kick off the first session of Thunderball. With all of us and Juliet as well.
Yay.
Yay.
Looking forward to having join us. So I don't know if we got to everything and like questions and stuff. We're running a little bit late, so I won't necessarily get into any additional questions right now. But if you're watching this, and you have any questions, or any of my players, if you do, throw them to me in Discord, and we'll chat about it there if there's anything you want to go over. But yeah, I'm excited for Thunderball. Ready to move on to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a just like fair warning. It is something that we have completely made up as far as like the mechanics of how the sport works. So it's going to be a little bit of play tested over the first couple of sessions. Probably we're kind of dial it in to make sure it works. But it should be pretty wacky and wild and a lot of fun too.
Mhm.
Anything from you guys before we wrap it up?
It's somebody's birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Alex.
Yay.
I'm glad you got to fight. The Mecha Tarask was my birthday present to you. It's like you asked me for.
How did he know?
Oh wait, hold on.
What are you doing?
You're gonna find a birthday and slap it on the Tarask.
I'm looking for. Well, okay. So here's the problem with using a fantasy like role-playing game is that if you search for the word bow, it does not bring up a bow in the traditional sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I got
here
it.
we go. Here's some.
No, I got it.
There we go.
No, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Wait, what is that?
Okay.
Hey, it's a ribbon.
It's just a ribbon.
He's so fancy
Oh, no, I
now.
have to take
Right
another
up there.
screenshot of it.
Oh wait, I got more colorful ribbons. Hold on.
Ah, yes.
I would draw
The
confetti.
hyper cannon shoots out confetti now.
Yes.
Oh wait,
It's
I
just
can
one of those
flip
blowers,
it.
like meh.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
gibberish to the stream. Hold
I'm
on.
gonna post a screenshot.
We're gonna get a
don't worry.
picture.
Yay.
There we go.
Party cannon.
See, now it looks like he's
Cotty
shooting
cannon.
Chad with his love gun, and that's just wrong.
Aww.
Oh.
He's your friend.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was great. So we will see everyone back here next week at 3:00 for
Yay.
the continuation for the brand new Thunderball, Saturday night's Thunderball. And yeah, so join us tomorrow for we need the echo after every time I say the word Thunderball.
Thunderball.
Then the whole session is just gonna people going, ball.
Like Thunderball, and then like a lightning thunder sound effect.
Ooh, yes, please.
Work on that. So join us tomorrow for Pursuit of the Black Kestrel, our Pathfinder 2nd edition campaign. It's going to be at 7:00 Eastern time, and Tidefall on Wednesday at 8:00 Eastern time. Thank you all for joining us. Happy birthday, Alex, again, and until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night,
Good night,
Internet.
Internet.
Morning.